opioid
Good
epidemic.
morning,
In
YouTube.
South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, mom and dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the
Good
horrors of
morning.
hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are
Now
only
that's the.
going to get worse.
There you go.
This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help.
Let me move you
And if
guys
your
down.
family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to
There
tell
we go.
you that help is available.
Hey
Call
guys,
good
Liberty Eagle.
friend
Good
Sal
morning,
at the Edge
YouTube. Good
Recovery,
morning.
561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, the Edge Recovery will
All right,
conduct
hold
an
on a second.
intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge
Welcome,
Recovery.
welcome.
Do it
Good
today.
morning. Good morning.
561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone, 561-523-4325.
Steve Kane invites you to Attorney Barry
That's
Siegel's
right. Good
Living Trust
morning.
and Medicaid Planning Seminars. Tuesday, August 27th at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. The first workshop is at 10. That's the Medicaid Planning Seminar, where you will learn how planning ahead
Hey, Phoenix.
protects you from running out of money before you run out of life. Being forced to spend down your assets. You will learn how to avoid nursing home seizure
Hey,
of
Terry.
your assets, and much, much more. The Revocable Living Trust Workshop is at 2, where you will learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses,
The Trump pill
lawsuits,
this morning.
creditors,
The poison
government
Trump. What are you
agencies,
talking about?
and the IRS. Seating is limited.
I don't even know what
so
that
please
means.
call Barry Siegel's office for a reservation. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 1-855-352-3782. The Courtyard by Marriott is on Glades Road, just west of I-95, on the north side of Glades Road. The Medicaid Planning Workshop is at 10. The Revocable Living Trust Seminar is at 2. Call Attorney Barry Siegel's office right now for your reservation to these free workshops. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. 1-855-352-3782. Listen to the Steve King Show.
All righty. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name's Brian Craig. It's Wednesday morning, 8 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, man, it's early. It is Wednesday morning, August 21st, 2019. Welcome, one and all, to Trump's America. That's right, which is getting a little bigger. We're going to add Greenland. Greenland's pretty big. Oh, man. Sorry, Denmark. Lots going on, lots to talk about. Democrats are turning to Trump in this next election in large numbers, in droves. Donald Trump is going to get the largest Democrat vote of any Republican president in a long, long time. We're going to talk about that on the show today, which is great news. But I got, there was some really, you may have seen this story. Did you hear about the delivery man from Best Buy that murdered a woman? Have you seen this story in the news? Woman bought a washer and dryer from Best Buy. The delivery man that hooked it up in her house murdered her. Did you catch this? This story, it's of particular interest to me because I shop at this Best Buy. And this woman who was murdered, it's in my neighborhood. And I found out about this yesterday from my daughter told me about it. And I looked it up and I was shocked because I shop at this Best Buy. And it was so close to the house. I mean, it's just awful. It's awful. And this story, let me share this story with you. A Florida woman has died after an appliance delivery man from Best Buy severely beat her and then doused her in a chemical that caught on fire after installing a washer and dryer she ordered to her home. This is in the Daily Mail. The horrific attack took place on Monday at 75-year-old Evelyn Smith Udell of Boca Raton, and she succumbed to her injuries the following day. Police say 21-year-old Jorge Luis Dupree Lacazio and co-worker David Gonzalez delivered the Best Buy washer and dryer to her home Monday morning. After they installed the appliances, Gonzalez went outside while Lacazio, Jorge Luis Dupree Lacazio, was supposed to give the victim a rundown on how to use her new washer and dryer. Gonzalez reported hearing screams minutes later. While he was outside, Lacazio allegedly hit Udall with a wooden mallet, then doused her with a chemical that caught fire and burned most of her body, according to local police. And again, I shop at this Best Buy. And I bought a lot of things from this Best Buy over the years. When Gonzalez returned, he found the victim on the floor and called 911, and Lacazio fled in the delivery truck, according to the Palm Beach Post. Lacazio was acting very strange and told Gonzalez multiple times that they needed to leave, according to the police report. Gonzalez was in fear for his life and stepped outside the residence. Police and firefighters arrived at the scene at 9:15 a.m., found the woman unconscious in her laundry room with her clothes still on fire. I know, terrible, terrible story. She was rushed to the intensive care unit at Delray Medical Center with skull and face fractures, a brain bleed, second and third degree burns on more than one half of her body. She worked as a catalog librarian at Florida Atlantic University, which is my alma mater. That's where I went to college, before I did my postgraduate work, of course, at Trump University. Lacazio of Hialeah was later arrested and allegedly confessed to the vicious beating. He was charged with attempted second-degree murder, aggravated battery on a person 65 years of age or older, and arson with great bodily harm. He admitted to hitting the woman in the side of the head with the mallet and dousing her with a chemical agent he found in her garage, but he says he don't know what ignited it. Oh, wow. He was booked into the jail Tuesday, ordered to be held without bail. He had no prior arrest record. The police report does not... this is in the Daily Mail. The police report does not state if he provided a motive for the attack. Dupree and Lacazio told officers he recently used cocaine and marijuana through a vape pen. Are people vaping marijuana and cocaine now? Is this like crack? I know, this is awful. And I share this story. I know there's stories like this happen throughout the... But, you know, this is in my community. I shop at this Best Buy. Lacazio said he worked for the delivery service for 20 months, and Udell's delivery was his third of the day. Oddly, the delivery service named in the police report cannot be found in South Florida. Best Buy, the store chain that sold the woman the washer and dryer, announced it was closing its Boca Raton area store out of respect for the victim. They've indefinitely suspended its ties to the delivery firm that this guy worked for. The Best Buy CEO said the chain is now reviewing its delivery programs, and they're hiring an independent security firm to review delivery contractors. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, I never heard of vaping cocaine and marijuana. I mean, I don't know too much about the vape. I'm one of those very lucky people. I've never been a smoker. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. I'm not saying I've never taken a drag off a cigarette, please. You know, but I've never smoked a cigarette. Everyone in my family smoked growing up. My grandparents smoked. Both of my parents smoked, but my mother quit smoking, oh gosh, when I was in high school. My grandmother passed away from brain cancer that she had gotten from smoking. And my mother quit smoking right then, and so that was like 89. So my mother hasn't smoked for like 30 years. But and I never smoked, but all my grandparents did. But I'll tell you about this god-awful murder. Women in particular, do not allow anyone to come to your home or come into your home when you are alone. I mean, I have a very, in my family, I mean, it's not like a policy, it's just something that we don't do. You know, we never, ever, ever have delivery men of any kind come to the house when I am not home. You know, my wife is disabled, and once a month, we have an oxygen delivery to the house. Oxygen guy comes with two 100-pound tanks of oxygen and things like this, you know. And, you know, we have the same guy coming for years and years and years. We never schedule the oxygen delivery unless I am going to be home. You know, it's tough for my wife to get out of the house. And sometimes she orders the groceries through those, you know, what are those services called? Shipt, and there's another one, Instacart, you know. And it's not that I don't mind going to the grocery store for her, but she likes to do it, you know, even if she's ordering it online. And if she's getting a grocery delivery from Instacart, we don't have the delivery come unless I am home. And I'll tell you another thing we do with this Instacart, because Publix does this. I don't let the people in the house. I do not let the people in the house. And most of them are women. Sometimes it's men, but sometimes I don't let them in the house. You know? And it is just dangerous for women to let anyone come into their home when there's not a man home. Now, having a man home is not a foolproof thing, but it is it's a bit of a safeguard, because if there, you know, because the people like this are cowards, okay? And if there's a man around, they're less likely to do something. If there's a woman around, they feel more secure in acting out like this. So, you know, I never. And in fact, we used to do these shows many years ago with parents of murdered children. And Steve used to have this guy, I cannot remember his name. If any longtime listeners remember this guy's name, Steve used to have this guy on the show all the time who was a head of this organization called Parents of Murdered Children, which was a support group, Parents of Murdered Children. And his daughter was home when the carpet cleaning guys came to the house to clean the carpets. It was one of the big companies, one of the big name companies. And she was a teenager at the time, and he didn't think any big deal. Big name company, of course they do security checks and everything. What's the problem with that? And the carpet cleaning guys, she was home alone, raped and murdered this man's daughter. Raped and murdered the daughter. Brutal. Used to come on the show from time to time many years ago. You know, and it's dangerous out there. You can, just because someone, you know, like, for example, this thing with Best Buy. These guys didn't work for Best Buy. They worked for a delivery company that Best Buy subcontracted with. You know? And, you know, I bring this up not just as a safety measure, okay? Yeah, we do have an oxygen concentrator. People say, don't you have an oxygen concentrator? We do have. The portable battery one doesn't work for what my wife's needs are. I know they have portable concentrators. It does not work for what my wife's oxygen needs are. I'm not going to get involved in all that, but it doesn't, so that's why we do that. We have a concentrator at home, but the portable one doesn't work for her because of her oxygen needs. But anyway, in this day and age, there are so many home delivery services, right? Uber Eats, Instacart, Shipt. I mean, people are inviting people into their homes much more than ever. Not just when they have a major appliance. You know, like in the old days, the cable guy would come. Yeah, cable guy. Guys come to do the cable. We never, ever have had the cable guys come to the house unless I am home. Right? And even when we do the Instacart from Publix a lot, I don't let them in the house. In fact, what my wife usually does is tell them just to leave the groceries on the doorstep. And then when they leave, we take them. Because there was a story a couple of years ago where this whole family was murdered. And what they had found out is that they had ordered pizza, not the same day, it was previous, like days before. The pizza delivery man came to the house, scoped out the house and its contents, and brought back his buddies and robbed them. And I can't remember if anybody was killed in that instance or not. I think they were, but I can't remember the details of it. People have strangers coming into their homes more and more than ever now because of the app, right? I mean, millennial generation, they don't even go to the store shopping anymore. They order, and they have everything delivered now, whether it's Amazon or Instacart or Shipt or Uber Eats or Grubhub's another one. People are having strangers come into their homes more than ever today, and it is dangerous. Remember when I was a kid in Columbus, Ohio, it was dangerous for the deliverymen. There was a rash of shootings of Domino pizza delivery guys. It had to be either in the late 70s or very, very early 80s. I think it was in the late 70s. I was a little kid in Columbus, Ohio, and pizza deliverymen were getting robbed. And I remember the Domino's guys were wearing buttons on their shirts that say, please don't shoot me, I have no cash. It's very, very dangerous to have people come into your home. I'm just doing this public service. Don't do this. I have bought my washer and dryer that I have in my home came from this Best Buy. I got them a couple years ago. I don't know if this animal delivered it or not. I don't remember who delivered it. But I bought my washer and dryer from this exact same Best Buy, and it was delivered to my home from there. So, you've got to be very careful. Don't let people into your home. Women, don't let people into your home unless there is a man home. This whole thing of feminism. Oh, I'm an independent woman. I don't need a man. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay? It's a deterrent. Tell you another thing I don't do. I don't open up my door to people. People knock on the door trying to sell you this or that or pitching lawn service or something. I don't open the door. So anyway, this is a terrible story of this woman. I mean, it's god awful. It's god awful. And I only heard about this because my daughter and her friend went to Best Buy to buy something, and it was closed because of this, and they didn't know, and they looked it up, and this was in my community, and I did not even know it, and it happened Monday, and I found out yesterday. So anyway, it is crazy, scary stuff. All right, we'll take our first break of the day. Sorry to start on such a depressing note, but I think it's important to put people on alert. Because how many of you order from these delivery services, your groceries, your food, Uber Eats, on all this stuff? How many of you order from these places and have strangers coming to your house all the time? It's crazy. It's insane. It's not safe. You've got to take precautions. I mean, look at all these stories you get about ride sharing. I would not let my child or my wife ride in Uber or Lyft without me. I've taken Uber, I've taken Lyft, but I wouldn't let my daughter and I wouldn't let my wife ride it without me. I wouldn't do it. Women think they don't need men around. They do. Okay? They do. All right. 24 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? Do you have the hurricane coverage you need to protect your home in case a hurricane hits? Call Debbie at I Will Advisors and have her review your policy. Debbie will make sure you have the hurricane coverage you need in case a hurricane hits. Once the hurricane is here, it's too late. Call Debbie right now. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. She will review your policy at no charge. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Hi, this is Dr. Mitchell Matez from the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. I've cared for Steve and Brian in an anti-aging capacity for the last decade. However, I want to make sure that everybody understands hormone therapy is not just for men, but is for women also.
You got to be careful.
In fact, we have one of my women patients here with us right now today. Hi, Donna. Hi, Doc. Donna, tell us, what are some of the symptoms you had when you first came to see me?
Oh, I was going through menopause and I had night sweats. I wasn't sleeping through the night. Hot
Yeah,
flashes,
kids order
mood
from Uber
swings.
Eats.
My skin felt like sandpaper.
It's crazy.
My hair falling out by the handfuls, and I was tired, run down all the time. I was moving.
It's crazy.
And the worst thing of all was my sex.
My
life.
daughter
And how do
ordered
you
from
feel today?
I feel
Uber Eats
amazing.
recently. When
I'm
I was not home
52,
and my wife
and
wasn't home,
feel
I
like
was
I'm
pissed
25
off.
again.
And I can tell you've also lost some weight since we first
Or it might have been
met. How has
Grubhub.
this affected
I can't remember
your
Uber
weight
Eats or
control
Grubhub.
And your sex life and other issues of that.
Well, I've lost 50 pounds, and my sex life is better than it's ever been. It's
Exactly.
amazing, and I have skin like I'm 25 again. I sleep like a baby. My hair is not falling out anymore.
Good
I'm
morning.
happy all the time. There's no more mood swings, and
Steve
I
Kane
just
Show.
feel like a kid again.
As you can see, hormone pellet therapy is great for women also. It reverses your menopause, controls your weight, improves your sex life, and a whole host of other benefits. If you want to get these benefits, call me as soon as you can at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management at 561-953-5490. That's 561-953-5490. Or visit us at our website, hormonetherapybocaraton.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Yeah, just last week, my wife and I were not home, and my daughter was home, and she ordered lunch from it was either Uber Eats or Grubhub, and I was pissed off. I was pissed off that she did that. I really was. I because she had someone come to the house when we weren't home. Now, I'm sorry, it's dangerous stuff. It's just a little public service here to talk about this god-awful story that happened right here at the place where I shop, at the Best Buy where I shop. Scary stuff. All right, Richie the bus driver, good morning.
Good morning. I thought of you right away, and because I know I bought a computer from that store.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to tell people where it is.
Well, I've been talking about it on the radio. I mean, it's not to see. It's a national where it's in.
441 in Glades Road.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of Best Buys anymore, so they're hard to find.
That's where I bought a computer like about 4 years ago. But then I thought of you, and this has to do with mental illness all over. This guy was applying for citizenship, and he had no prior arrest.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a guy with a clean slate, and he's a delivery guy that you should trust because you don't think that they're that they're what do you call it? You think what Best Buy? You don't think that they're renting? What do they call it now? My mind, I just woke up. But you don't think that the Best Buy representative is going to come in your house? And I thought about this too. He saw a wooden mallet, and he beat her over the head with this wooden mallet. And then she was bleeding all over. The guy was in shock. The driver. And there was acetone, which is what women put on their fingernails and then nails done. A whole bottle of acetone poured all over her, okay? And I thought right away, is there going to be acetone control investigation by Congress? Is there going to be wooden mallet control? And then I saw last night on Laura Ingraham, San Francisco, all the sick homeless people defecating all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this gun control crap. I hate to link this with gun control, but there's so many sickies out there. You got cities that are full of sick. The homeless people is a mental thing as far as.
Well, I'll tell you, this guy from Best Buy, this animal from Best Buy, if he pulled something like this in my house, with all of us home, he would have found himself lying. He would be the one in the hospital. He would be lying on the floor with a hole in him because, we're protected at home. And here, here you have the liberals. One of them, I don't know if it was Beto or, they're all talking about gun control, but they're talking about mandatory gun buybacks. They want to take our guns, and if this guy, if this Best Buy guy could very easily have been the guy that delivered to my house, and if something like this happened, and I jumped on a crazy man like this, I don't know if I could take him. But while I was fighting with him, my wife could get the gun that the liberals want to take from us.
It was on the news right there where you live again. The young guy a couple of years ago went into a house and bit these people's faces off.
Yeah. I guess maybe I should move, Richie. Maybe I should move.
people. He went nuts. And then there was the case in Miami where the guy was walking on the street and he was jumped and the guy ate his face and killed him.
Well, I don't know too much. I don't know too much of the back. Well, you know what I'm interested in, Richie? I haven't. You have more information on this animal from Best Buy than I do. I was okay. How long did they say? Well, when I hear a guy that has 4 Hispanic names and he's from Hialeah, and he's all, I don't know what a guy from Hialeah, Hialeah is so far away from where this happened. And I immediately wonder what his citizenship status is. How long?
He was applying. He's been here over, I believe, 5 years. He had an application and he was as clean as a.
Well, well, he may have had a clean slate here, but I don't know what kind of clean slate he and the others in his family have in his country of origin. Did they say where he was from?
Look,
Yeah, and we've got that wet foot, dry foot. You don't know what went on with them down there because when they come to America, it's a clean slate.
but you got people, Brian, with this gun control thing. I got to bring this up because. When I saw all these homeless in San Francisco, I was shocked. You can talk about it like you and I are talking about it now, but you got to see it. They're not just, they are all over. They aren't just, and it's like not a couple laying in the street. I mean, I remember they had one down at the homeless shelter. They had a homeless shelter there at the bus station on Broward Boulevard. And they were walking around the streets, fanning at stuff that was.
Well, Richie, the homeless have always been a pet peeve of mine because, here in South Florida, we live in beautiful, this is paradise, okay? I believe Florida is the best state to live in. I know California has some beautiful things to look at, but we've got better weather and everything. And so we attract a lot of homeless. And homeless has always been an issue down here in Florida. And in Palm Beach County, we had a big problem until a couple years ago with panhandlers. And you would you would be at an intersection, and at every the 4 corners of the intersection, there'd be a panhandler, homeless guy, begging for money, and they became very entitled. I used to have a Jeep Wrangler, and when I was in my Jeep Wrangler, sometimes they would come up, they would reach into the car. You don't have any change lying there in the ashtray, and they'd reach into the car, and it's dangerous. And we passed in Palm Beach County. An ordinance against panhandling, and it was difficult to pass because the Democrats, the liberals, wanted they for some reason, whether it's Florida or San Francisco or Fort Lauderdale, liberal Democrats love the homeless people in the streets. I was in
a ton of money. Their idea is let's build shelters and build housing for these people. So let me tell you, they had one in Fort Lauderdale. They built a beautiful one. And they didn't go into it. They had like 14 people.
Well, I'll tell you, who I hold responsible for this, and a lot of people won't understand because they're not old enough, but I hold Geraldo Rivera responsible for it. You probably know. He did Geraldo Rivera. I like Geraldo. He used to be good friends with Steve. I know he goes off the reservation with liberal crap a lot, but he became famous back in the 1970s. He did a television news story on Willowbrook? Yeah, which was. Well, let me tell people that don't know, Richie. It was a mental institution in New York, and it was god-awful conditions. And that set into effect a domino effect that ended up closing the state mental institutions all over the place. And since then, the people that should be committed are now walking the streets.
Getting guns, and they're shooting people, and they're blaming the guns.
Well, I remember before I was married and I lived in downtown Fort Lauderdale. I'm not going to go through the whole story because I've told it in the past a few times, but I had a roommate, and there was a knock at the door. I thought it was my roommate, and it was a homeless guy, and he tried to get into my house, and I had to push him out of the door, and he was banging on the door and everything, trying to get into my apartment. And the homeless people has been a big problem in Fort Lauderdale since the 1980s. It still is today because the Democrats feed them in the streets and everything. And I was interviewing the mayor of Fort Lauderdale his at the time, his name was Jim Noggle. Good guy, but I was interviewing. Yeah, and I said, Jim Noggle, I said, Mayor, why don't you get these homeless people off the streets and out of the parks? They're not. And he says, well, it's the public sidewalks and the public parks, and they have just as much a right to be there as you do. And yeah, and it's crazy. And most of them are people that are mentally ill that are not being treated. Okay, most of these people are homeless people that if they were being treated for their mental illness, things would be better for them. Most of them.
What they used to do in Hollywood to the homeless years ago when I first moved there back in 1967. Believe it or not, they would go up to them. There was a vagrancy law. They'd say, "Who are you here with? The police. Are you visiting anybody? No. Come with me. Take them to Greyhound bus station, which was at Young Circle. Put them on a bus and tell them, listen.
Yeah.
We see you in this city again. You're going to jail." This might have been cruel to some of these left-wing liberals, but what would you rather have? Situations like that?
Yeah.
To have them laying all over the street, coming into your house, robbing your house, all sorts of crime, all sorts of petty crime. You can't even go to a restaurant and eat. Now this is a mental thing. Has nothing.
Well, I don't know what is going on. I don't know what is going on in California and San Francisco in particular with the homeless crisis, but I don't understand the liberal fascination with the homeless. I don't understand.
Because they want to come across as Mr. Good people.
Well, the first thing you do is you roll up on the homeless and when I say roll up, I mean the police, and they do a background check on them. How many of them have warrants?
Probably.
Half of them are mentally ill, at least, who are not being treated. And if they would be in treatment, they wouldn't have the problem. And of the other half, probably 3/4 of the other half probably have criminal records and warrants.
They have addictions in the worst way.
Yeah.
Place. And if they get hold of it, look at Joseph Bustaraba, the one that killed the bus driver at Young Circle years ago.
Yeah.
He was thrown off the bus. He was drinking. He was thrown off the bus.
Yeah.
Bus driver came back and he blew him away and killed a passenger on the bus at Young Circle. He was homeless and sick. And guess what? They gave him the death penalty, and then the Florida Supreme Court, which is liberal, overturned the death penalty, said he had a bad childhood.
Yeah. Well, this murder of this woman from the Best Buy, it's all. I had a bad experience with Best Buy once. I went to Best Buy to buy this was years ago. I went to Best Buy to buy a computer. I had to buy a new computer. And, this was in the 90s, and computers, a regular PC was like $1,800, $2,000 back then. And that's it's a lot. That's a lot of money, and it was more money then because it's been so many years. And I couldn't get anybody to help me, and it was sad. And so I go up to one of the clerks in the computer department. I said, "Hey, I'm trying to buy a computer, and I can't get anyone to help me." And the guy says to me, "Listen to this, Richie." He says, "Well, we're not commissioned salesmen here." What the hell, Oh well, okay.
That's the opposite thing if you go to BrandsMart.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I know. All right, Richie the bus driver, take care. Yeah. All right, we'll take our break. When we get back, there's more to share. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, mom and dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at the Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325.
I don't dress up for
If
Halloween.
your loved one refuses treatment, the Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone, 561-523-4325.
Steve Kane invites you to attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust and Medicaid Planning Seminars. Tuesday, August 27th at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. The first workshop is at 10. That's the Medicaid Planning Seminar, where you will learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Being forced to spend down your assets. You will learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets and much, much more. The Revocable Living Trust Workshop is at 2, where you will learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. Seating is limited, so please call Barry Siegel's office for a reservation. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 1-855
Really? You don't have kids?
3782. The Courtyard by Marriott is on Glades Road, just west of I-95, on the north side of Glades Road. The Medicaid Planning Workshop is at
Next
10.
week I'm going to the
Revocable
grand
Living
opening of the
Trust
Star
Seminar
Wars
is
land
at
at
2.
Walt Disney
Call
World.
Attorney
So
Barry
I'm all
Siegel's office
excited.
right now for your reservation to these free workshops. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. 1-855-352-3782.
Oh, that's a good name. Parasite Scope. I like that.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All righty. We're back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. You know, there's something that goes on in this country that one day will be looked upon as a national shame, and people will ask, how did this happen? What could have happened? And I'm talking about abortion, which really is... It's the Holocaust of the unborn. Yeah, I'm strongly pro-life. My daughter is adopted. My mother is adopted. You know, so, you know, when you are, you know, in a family with adopted people, you know, you're pro-life. You know, there's no reason to have an abortion today. I know they say in rape and incest. Okay, rape and incest are just a little tiny, probably less than 1% of all abortions that are committed are rape and incest. Okay, and they say the life of the mother. You know, this is all, that's a small percentage, you know, and there's also something called personal responsibility. My wife, I was talking to my wife's disabled, she has a heart and lung illness, pretty serious illness. And we adopted for a couple of reasons. One, we didn't want to pass her illness on to anyone else because it's possible you could. And number two, she could not survive giving birth, you know. So we did it's called responsibility and personal responsibility. I know that's a couple of words that liberals don't understand. They may have to go online and look up on Google personal responsibility to even know what that means. And abortion is just it's wrong. I mean, it's just wrong, and it is murder. It's just wrong. And here you got Alyssa Milano. Alyssa Milano says life would be lacking all its great joys without her abortions, plural. This is in the Daily Caller. Actress Alyssa Milano revealed on her Monday podcast that she has had 2 abortions since 1993, saying, quote, "It was absolutely the right choice for me," unquote. Wow, what a selfish thing. You know, I believe, and I know some of you that don't have kids get offended by this, you don't really grow up until you have children. And I know, I'm 59, I've never had kids, I'm an adult. You don't understand, because when you have children, you put children's needs ahead of your own, always. If you don't have enough money, they eat before you eat. They sleep before you sleep, right? You know, people don't understand without kids. You know, if you had to throw yourself in front of a bus to save the life of your child, you would do it. You wouldn't even think about it. It's the natural instinct of a parent. More so mothers, because they have a bond that fathers not as close as a father would have. But liberals like Alyssa Milano, completely selfish. Her abortions was absolutely the right choice for me, she says. Alyssa Milano discussed her abortion on her podcast, Sorry Not Sorry. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Alyssa Milano said she had both abortions in 1993 while she was in a relationship where she was in love for the first time. She had 2 in 93. Okay, you got pregnant unplanned the first time and still you didn't take precautions, Alyssa Milano? You got pregnant the first time, you had an abortion, and you still didn't play it safe, and you got pregnant again? What is wrong with you, Alyssa Milano? She says, quote, this is Alyssa Milano's quote on her podcast, "I knew I was not ready to be a parent." Well, then off with its head. That's where adoption comes in. That's where adoption comes in. My daughter's adopted. My mother's adopted. Steve has 7 children. 6 of them are adopted. If you are in a position where you cannot be a parent, and what position? In 1993, she was a, what was she doing in 93? Let me look at her Internet Movie Database, because she's been obviously an actress since she was a kid, but she's been a working actress for a long time, and I would imagine in the let me see what her Internet Movie Database credits look like in 92, 93, and 94 when she had these 2 abortions. Let's see here. Who's the Boss ended in 92, and she was working very steadily. In 1993, she was in the, she had a, you know, in 1993, see, you know, I don't buy what Alyssa Milano's saying here. Because in 1993 and 1994, she really had a very good career. Who's the Boss was over, and she was doing a string of television movies, and she did one that was very big. She played Amy Fisher in one of those Long Island Lolita TV movies. Hold on, I got to sneeze, guys. Hold on. I turn my microphone off on the radio for that, but the live streamers, you get to hear and see me sneeze. And I'm looking, Who's the Boss went off the air in 92. And in 1993, when she had the 2 abortions, she had 1, 2, 3 TV movies, and these were major network TV movies. And she has another credit. I'm not sure if that was a TV series or a movie. And she had more television movies in 94 and a series in 95. So Alyssa Milano says she had 2 abortions in 1993 because she was not ready. Well, I looked at the clock. I got to take the last break of the hour. I'll finish up with this because I believe she's being dishonest, maybe even with herself, but we'll talk about it when we get back. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? Do you have the hurricane coverage you need to protect your home in case a hurricane hits? Call Debbie at I Will Advisors and have her review your policy. Debbie will make sure you have the hurricane coverage you need in case a hurricane hits. Once the hurricane is here, it's too late. Call Debbie right now. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. She will review your policy at no charge. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Where am I rejected? You're here. I don't feel rejected. You're with me.
Get super savings on over 1,500 Toyotas during our 2020 Supra sales event at Toyota of Hollywood. Toyota of Hollywood has one of the largest selections of 2020 Supra launch editions in the country. Plus, we're selling 2019 Toyotas at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not 26,000.
I had some incredible news this morning.
2019
I know it's early in the morning, but I had some incredible news come my way this morning.
Get super savings during our 2020
In my personal life.
Supra sales event at
Not that I'm going to
Toyota
share with you guys, but
Hollywood, the
very good
#1
news.
volume Toyota dealer based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
People put off the medical care they need for a lot of reasons. My deductible is too high. I don't have insurance. My schedule is too hectic. I just can't afford it. The time for excuses is over. Thanks to Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. PSA, only $34. Full cholesterol lipid panel, $28. Complete
I can't tell you
thyroid
guys. It's
panel,
something in my private life.
$29.
I got some very good
Diabetic
news.
A1C test, only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed.
Steve
All
will
testing
adopt,
is
yeah,
always
Steve will
anonymous
adopt me.
and confidential. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Most results in 24 to 48 hours. Make sure to ask about their allergy testing, which includes
I'm just in a good mood today.
micronutrient and environmental
I got some very good
allergies
news
and
today
vitamin
about something.
deficiency
My
tests.
wife doesn't even know
Drug
yet
testing.
because she was
You name
sleeping,
it,
so I didn't
Any
want to
Lab
wake her.
Test
I almost
Now
woke my wife
Plantation
up.
Probably test for it. Any Lab Test Now Plantation is located at 8367 West Sunrise Boulevard in the Jacaranda Plaza on the corner of University Drive and Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. Give them a call.
Yeah, the alarm clocked me. I called him this morning and woke him up.
954-916-1072.
It's not that.
1072. Online, labtestingplantation.com. Take control of your health with Any Lab Test Now of Plantation. 954-916-1072.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in America, if not the world. No doubt about that. So Alyssa Milano on her podcast on Monday is bragging about 2 abortions she had in 1993. She said it was absolutely the right choice for me, she says. She wasn't ready. In 1993, she had 2 abortions. So she had 1 unplanned pregnancy. She had an abortion, and she still didn't use birth control, and she got pregnant again and had a second abortion. And she said it just wasn't right for her. And I'm telling you that 1993 was the beginning of her career as an adult. You know, there are a lot of child actresses and actors that don't make it. She was on Who's the Boss, which was a huge show. I never watched Who's the Boss. I was never a sitcom guy, even when I was a kid. I never watched Who's the Boss. Who's the Boss was a big show. Went off the air in 92, and she became a TV movie queen. And in 1992, 3, and 4, she was doing TV movie after TV movie. And back in that era, there was no streaming services. Television movies, that was a big deal back then in the 90s. And I'm telling you, she had 2 abortions in 1993. This one movie she starred in where she played Amy Fisher, Casualties of Love, the Long Island Lolita story, that was like the movie of the year. It was huge. Especially because she was playing her, because she was just this good little girl. And then she was playing a sex kitten, you know, in this Long Island Lolita movie. And Amy Fisher was a big deal back then. There were 2 Amy Fisher movies, and they were on about the same time. And hers was the big one because she was famous. She had 2 abortions, not because she wasn't ready. She had 2 abortions because she was just left Child Acting, Who's the Boss was just off the air, and she was making it as an adult actress in television. That's a tough transition to do from child actor to adult actor. And liberal Hollywood doesn't want a pregnant Alyssa Milano, who would have been 20 years old, 21 years old, however old. They don't want a pregnant girl. They're not giving TV movie jobs to pregnant girls. Okay? So she had abortions because of liberal Hollywood, all their liberalism and pro-feminism and all this crap that they lie about, okay? They're pro-gun control, but every movie and television show, you know, with the guns in it. She had 2 abortions because she thought she wouldn't be able to get acting work in Hollywood if she didn't have the abortions, Alyssa Milano, I'm telling you. Now, she may not be aware of that herself. It may be below her. She may be lying to herself. She may be trying to. A lot of women have regret, sometimes conscious, sometimes subconscious regret of their abortions, and they try to justify them. But her career was really taking off. She was transforming into an adult actress from a childhood actor. I mean, look at Dana. She didn't want to go the way of Dana Plato, working at Blockbuster. She didn't want to go the way of Erin Moran from Happy Days. She had 2 abortions because she felt she wouldn't be cast in these TV movies. I'm telling you. Alyssa Milano said she had both abortions in '93 while in a relationship where she was in love for the first time. Alyssa Milano went on to say, I knew I was not ready to be a parent, explaining that she was on birth control when she became pregnant and believed she had a career future and potential ahead of her. So he's backing up a little bit of what I'm telling you here. Alyssa Milano said that she was raised Catholic and went after Catholicism as a faith. I was coming to realize it only empowered men to make every single decision of what was allowed and what was not allowed. Alyssa Milano obtained her first abortion in 1993, but became pregnant again a few months later, and then obtained a second abortion. This is all in the Daily Caller. Alyssa Milano said that this was the right decision for her, and that if she had not obtained these abortions, her life would be lacking its great joys, because she may not have been able to make the transition from child actor to adult. Sick. She also said that if she had not had these abortions, she would not have had her 2 children she has today, her career, her platform, or her husband. So she's admitting here that I'm right. That liberal Hollywood, you know, in the Me Too era, you know, she could help so many people if she came out. She was basically felt forced to have abortions because of Hollywood. Alyssa Milano, she says the Catholic Church is men telling women what to do with their bodies. Well, what the hell was Hollywood telling Alyssa Milano? Alyssa Milano was being told by Hollywood, don't get pregnant, kid, if you want to work in Hollywood. You're Alyssa Milano. You're one of those America's sweethearts right now. No one wants to see you pregnant. No one wants to think of you having sex with men other than themselves that fantasize about you. If you get pregnant, no movies for you. No TV series for you. So Alyssa Milano, she blames the church. It's men telling women. Hollywood, which was mostly run by men then, Hollywood forced her into these abortions by her own admission. She said she did it for her career. Hollywood forced her into abortions. Me Too, they think they're all woke out there. They're not woke. They're asleep. 15 years after the first love had fizzled, Alyssa Milano says, my life would be completely lacking all its great joys. I would never have been free to be myself. And that's what this fight is all about, freedom. I refuse to let anyone else's BS, she said the whole word, morality, force me into a life of premarital celibacy. She totally ignores the fact that the Hollywood studios, the network, the casting directors, the producers forced her to have 2 abortions in a year. Alyssa Milano went on to say, I refuse to live in the narrative that sexual pleasure is for men and that women exist to deliver that pleasure. Sounds like she's been binge watching what the heck is that show? The Handmaid's Tale. She's been binge watching The Handmaid's Tale. Sex is for the men's pleasure. Well, maybe you're having sex with the wrong men, Alyssa Milano. Maybe you're having sex with men that don't love you or care about you and are just jumping on top of you to pleasure themselves and don't care. Maybe you should find a loving man that cares about your pleasure, Alyssa Milano. Nobody will say that he was in fault for enjoying sex with me, but you can be damn sure that the men enacting these laws think less of me for deriving the same pleasure from him. Men don't care if you have an orgasm, Alyssa Milano. What a sad person. All right, your thoughts on all these things. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Alyssa Milano can't find a man that wants her to enjoy sex. She was only able to find men that used her as a celebrity receptacle for their pleasure. But somehow, that's the fault of society. You're meeting the wrong men, Alyssa Milano. A lot of Bill Clinton types. 1-888-465-2631. 1 hour down, 2 to go. We'll be back with hour number 2 after this.
1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about Dr. Mitch Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. He's my anti-aging doctor. That's right, I have an anti-aging doctor now. This year, I turned 45, and I was starting to slow down a bit. I met with Dr. Matez, and he found that my testosterone level was low. We men begin losing our testosterone starting at age 30, and it goes down every year after that. Dr. Matez told me I was approaching the beginning of andropause. That's the male equivalent of menopause. I began bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. They're tiny little pellets inserted into my skin. And now my testosterone
She's a sick
levels
person,
are
isn't
being
she, Alyssa
restored to
Milano?
where they were when I was 25 years old. Thanks to Dr. Matez, I have more energy, I feel better, I look better, my love life, it's better, and my wife, she's thanking Dr. Matez too. Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy isn't just for men, it works wonders for women by reversing the symptoms of menopause, like the night sweats and the mood swings. Men and women, you don't have to live with the negative effects of aging, like loss of energy, loss of sexual desire, weight gain, or menopause. Call Dr. Matez and meet with him about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. It works for me, and it'll work for you too. He's located in Boca, and his website is hormonetherapybocaraton.com. Or give him a call, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And tell him Brian Craig sent you.
This is Roger Simon, reverse mortgage specialist at South Florida's Choice Mortgage Bank. I've found that reverse mortgages can be a very valuable financial vehicle for seniors. I truly change their lives for the better. In fact, I have a reverse mortgage myself, and it's certainly improved my life. Everyone's situation, of course, is different, but I've found over and over that a reverse mortgage can solve many of a senior's financial problems. It's a valuable tool to allow you to age in place. And if you're a senior like me, that's a primary goal. By aging in place, I mean that you're financially able to stay in the home you love for the rest of your life. So if you own your home with or without a mortgage, and if you want to know how a reverse mortgage can change your life by giving you the financial freedom you need, find out how by giving me a call anytime at 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. I look forward to hearing from you.
Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166254.
Denture wearers, are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food? Is it painful for you to eat? Does the constant denture movement affect your speech? Are you always worried that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots? You are not alone. These are common problems that can be solved simply with dental implants. This is Steve Kane, and I want to introduce you to Brighton Dental Care, where the Kane family goes for all our dental needs. Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat the foods you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're offering implants, get this, for just $3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000, but at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the 2 implants plus your lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922-4633, 954-922-4633, and online at brightondentalcare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
Steve Kane invites you to Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust and Medicaid Planning Seminars. Tuesday, August 27th at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. The first workshop is at 10. That's the Medicaid Planning Seminar, where you will learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money or you run out of life, being forced to spend down your assets. You will learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets, and much, much more. The Revocable Living Trust Workshop is at 2, where you will learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. Seating is limited, so please call Barry Siegel's office for a reservation. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 1-855-352-3782. The Courtyard by Marriott is on Glades Road, just west of I-95, on the north side of Glades Road. The Medicaid Planning Workshop is at 10. The Revocable Living Trust Seminar is at 2. Call Attorney Barry Siegel's office right now for your reservation to these free workshops. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. 1-855-352-3782.
All right, here we go.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or
Lordy,
sponsors.
help me
The
here.
Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week.
Is that supposed to be a
Call
joke?
the show toll free. What?
Yes. We're back. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. It is Wednesday. Oh, boy. Talked about a lot in the first hour. I'll take a call, maybe 2, and then I'll bring up, I want to get into this. This Elizabeth Warren fake Indian with her fake crowd size yesterday. Was it Minnesota? All right, we'll talk about that. Don't worry. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
Huh? I'll let you know after the call. Well, wait a minute. You said, how's it going? And then you just went on talking. Do you care how's it going for me? Or is that just an instinct, knee-jerk thing that you say? Because you said, how's it going? And then you just rambled on. You didn't wait for me to tell you how it's going for me.
I'm very sorry about that, sir. I'm a New Yorker. I guess it's like the New York Minute.
Oh, really? Where in New York are you? Yeah, you heard me. Go on with your next lie. Go ahead.
No lie. The Alyssa Milano thing.
Oh, you're right. Okay, what's your area code? Yeah, you don't know your area code. All right, go ahead. Talk Alyssa Milano.
Well, I just think it's kind of ironic.
Liar.
You know, she was on the show. Who's the boss?
Yeah.
Understand that, Donald Trump is the boss.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The Democrats act like the Hollywood platform is a platform that's actually worthy of trying to stand on and maintain, because clearly it's gigantic.
All right, thanks for the call, whatever that is, and boredom. Yeah, I guess he's got no one to talk to. He's looking to talk to someone. He's phoning a friend. He's trying to find a friend. He's from New York. He doesn't know where in New York he is. He doesn't know his area code, but he's in New York. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Elizabeth Warren. So the original story was yesterday. Was it Minnesota where Elizabeth Warren meant? Isn't that Indian country? Was Minnesota Indian territory? I don't know. It sounds like a place that would be. Is Minnesota an Indian word? I don't know. Sounds like it might be. Elizabeth Warren, the first reports were 12,000 showed up to see Elizabeth Warren. And because she had a crowd, that means she's won. She's won. Trump's done. She had a crowd. It was outside. They were going to have it indoors, and it was too small for the crowd. And they moved it outside because it was so large. Yeah, they probably thought 36 people would show up, so they had a breakout room off in the library somewhere. Then the next report was that it was 10,000, and Breitbart did a crowd size estimate, and they say 6,000. Now, 6,000 is a pretty good turnout, don't get me wrong, especially for a Democrat these days. But I was reading a story about this in the Huffington Post during the break, and they said the crowd was energized and very excited, and they even stayed an hour or more after just to socialize with one another. What does that tell you? What does this tell you? Who were the people that were there? And I saw some of the photographs. Who were the people that were there to see fake Ahanas, false Ahanas? Today's Wednesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. What type of person, right, can go somewhere in the middle of the day during the week, hang out, watch a fake Indian come out and do a rain dance in Minnesota, and then hang out for an hour or two after just to socialize? What kind of person can do that? Well, there's a few types of people. It was at a college, so college students. I saw some of the photographs, old people that don't have jobs, right? All right. And then the third are paid Democrat operatives. And, you know, I don't believe anything the Democrats do, especially the crowd size, because, you know, Kamala Harris is done. Tulsi did her in. She's already down 12 points, I saw in a poll today among Democrats. Biden, he thinks that he thinks that Robert Kennedy and Martin Luther King were assassinated in the 1970s. It's true. I didn't make that up. Listen, I got it here. Hold on. This is Joe Biden.
Just like in my generation, when I got out of school, that when Bobby Kennedy and Dr. King had been assassinated in the 70s.
In the 70s. Doesn't even know what decade, and he lived through it. Pretty bad there, Biden. So they're putting all their hopes behind Elizabeth Warren. And that crowd that was there yesterday was not a real crowd. I am here to tell you there is something fishy about the Elizabeth Warren crowd. Okay? How many of them were union workers? How many of them were union workers? How many of them were campaign workers? How many of them were seat fillers from the college? There's something suspicious. But this is the Democrat, you know, she came up under Obama. Okay? And Obama gained momentum with crowd size. It was 6,000 people. They're saying 10 to 12, but Breitbart did a crowd size estimate, and they're saying that they're saying 6,000. Who the hell would turn up to see Elizabeth Warren in the middle of the week? Who cares? Right? What's that about? 6,000. There's something fishy about this. And if the media were to look into who those people were, they would find union workers, paid campaign workers, retirees that were brought in, students at the university filling seats. Don't buy this false narrative of propaganda they're putting out from the Leni Riefenstahl School of Politics, okay, that there was a massive crowd for Elizabeth Warren. Makes no sense whatsoever. Someone in the chat said the unemployed. There are so few unemployed people today because of President Trump's winning economy. No, but there's something very fishy about it. Don't buy it. I give you the two stories about Obama. We talked about them a lot back in the campaign. In 2008, Obama spoke to a crowd of 50,000 near Portland, Oregon. 50,000. And newspapers were still a thing in 2008. And the front page of every newspaper had a photograph of Barack Obama. It was behind him. He was on the stage speaking to the crowd of 50,000. And then every television cable news broadcast had that same still photograph of Barack Obama speaking to the crowd of 50,000. And I was suspect of it on the air that day. And then I did some looking into it, like I always do. You know, and the reason I was suspicious of the Barack Obama crowd of 50,000 in Oregon is we only saw a still picture of it. Why was there no video on television of this or online? Why was it just a still photograph of Barack Obama talking to 50,000 people? If 50,000 people turned out, this must be a momentous speech. Why is there no video? And upon reading, I had found out this. It was not an Obama rally. It was a free concert festival. It was a music festival, a free music festival, and they brought Obama out between sets. And the reason that there was there's still no video of it today. And the reason I suspect there was only stills and they didn't show us the video is because the crowd noise was rather high because they weren't listening to Barack Obama. They were there for the free music, and they were talking amongst themselves or walking out to go pee during the break between the sets of music or to buy a new beer. But the media didn't tell you any of that. It was a fake crowd, fake rally. It was a total Leni Riefenstahl productions were more legitimate than that. And then there was the second time he spoke to tens of thousands in Germany. Remember the Brandenburg Gate and all that? You know, and he spoke to a crowd of thousands. This one, there was video. It was on television. And that one, in Germany, that crowd had not turned out to hear Barack Obama. Who cares about some senator from Illinois speaking in Germany, especially someone who's black? These are the children and grandchildren of Nazis. They don't care for black people in the Deutschland, okay, in the fatherland. Well, Obama's German speech, with thousands there, they were not there to hear him. There was a free reggae music festival going on, and they were attending the music festival, and they pulled the same stunt they did in Oregon. They brought him up between sets. That's what they did during the Obama campaign. So this crowd yesterday with Elizabeth Warren, something about it stinks. I don't know what yet, because no one in the media seems to want to tell us the truth. Fox News, they don't investigate anything. They hate Trump. If it's bad for Trump, they're going to run with it. Bunch of never-Trumpers over there. But don't believe the story. Don't believe the story. All right. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's our number. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
This is Roger Simon, reverse mortgage specialist at South Florida's Choice Mortgage Bank. I've found that reverse mortgages can be a very valuable financial vehicle for seniors. I truly change their lives for the better. In fact, I have a reverse mortgage myself, and it's certainly improved my life. Everyone's situation, of course, is different, but I've found over and over that a reverse mortgage can solve many of a senior's financial problems. It's a valuable tool to allow you to age in place. And if you're a senior like me, that's a primary goal. By aging in place, I mean that you're financially able to stay in the home you love for the rest of your life. So if you own your home with or without a mortgage, if you want to know how a reverse mortgage can change your life by giving you the financial
free stuff, yeah.
Find out how by giving me a call anytime at 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. 30. I look forward to hearing from you.
Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender NMLS 166254. Brian Craig here. You have all helped build MyPillow into the amazing company it is. Now, Mike Lindell,
right back,
the
guys.
inventor and CEO of MyPillow, wants to give back to listeners of the Steve Kane Show. When you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, you can get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. Go to MyPillow.com right now. Click on the new radio listener specials. I have a MyPillow. My wife has a MyPillow. My daughter's sleeping on a MyPillow. Even my dog Mina has the MyPillow pet bed. You can get deep discounts on MyPillows, mattress toppers, bed sheets, even the MyPillow pillow top mattress that Steve just bought for his daughter Adrian. All you have to do is use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Right now at MyPillow.com, the body pillow that regularly goes for $89.99 is only $29.99 when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Remember, all MyPillow products come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Go to MyPillow.com right now and click the new radio listener specials and get these huge discounts on all MyPillow products, including the body pillow, for only $29.99. You have to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for these great radio specials. MyPillow.com, promo code KANE.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Sole Authority. At the Sole Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Sole Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoleauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back. Brian Craig here with you. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. I don't know what's going on with the Mooch, Anthony Scaramucci. I really don't know. He was on with Don Lemon last night. Now, Don Lemon, by the way, Don Lemon's in some hot water. There are 3 CNN personalities that have been in some trouble, right? We were talking about Fredo Cuomo last week. Also last week, because of Fredo, the Don Lemon scandal, I talked about it, but it hasn't gotten a lot of press yet, although there's been a development. He's being accused of inappropriately touching a man in a bar, which is a sexual assault. And just the other day, a witness came forward that corroborated the victim's account that he was inappropriately touched. And the story is that Don Lemon put his hands down his pants and played with himself and then took it out and put the hand, his fingers up against the man's nose, and it said, "Do you like D or do you like P?" And you can figure out what those words were. He used them both. And then April Ryan, I know, it's pretty disgusting. That's Don Lemon. A witness has come out, and there's been a lawsuit filed against Don Lemon in New York, and a witness has come out and backed up what the witness said. April Ryan, who's a member of the media, Trump's a bully with the press, right? Her security guard has been charged with assault after a video has been produced that shows April Ryan's security guard violently hitting a reporter and then stealing her camera. And it looked as if it was done with her approval. A security guard for CNN's April Ryan has been charged with a harassment, assault, and theft after he violently took a reporter's equipment, hit the reporter, then threw the reporter out of the event. Last week, a video surfaced showing a security guard for April Ryan of CNN violently throwing reporter Charlie Cradaville out of a hotel lobby in New Jersey. He had been cleared by the organizer of April Ryan's event and had a press pass to the event. He was asking her a question she didn't want to be asked. April Ryan directed her security guard to remove the reporter who was videotaping her speech. She doesn't want to be videotaped, apparently. And boom, her security guard. So where's that story, by the way? But Trump's the bully with the press? Have any of his people been charged with assault and theft of a reporter? I've never heard of such a thing. I see, this story with this scummy Playboy reporter. Does he work for CNN too? That started a fight with Sebastian Gorka at that White House ceremony with the social media influencers a while back. That story, that's all over the place, that he's suing the White House to get his credentials back. April Ryan directed a security guard to remove a reporter for videotaping her, and he assaulted the reporter and stole the reporter's camera. I don't know if it's been returned or not. I don't know. And thankfully, there's video of the event. I think, did the video come from the venue security? I'm not sure. Where's this story with April Ryan? So CNN's under fire now. Scaramucci, he's the Michael Avenatti of CNN now. They have him on CNN. They love him at CNN. I wonder if Scaramucci has Avenatti's old office at CNN. I don't know, but he's over there all the time. And I don't know what the deal is with Scaramucci. He was a never Trumper, and then he came in to work at the White House, and then he was a big Trump guy. And I don't know what's happened to Scaramucci. I used to love this guy. I was a huge fan of Scaramucci. But then again, I was a big fan of Michael Cohen, too. So I guess I'm not a very good judge of character. But Scaramucci, I just want to play this one clip, and it's a short one. It's only 9 seconds. And I think there's a little dead air in the beginning, so it's even less than that. This is the mooch. He was on with Don Lemon, who's being accused of sexual assault in New York. Yeah, Don Lemon is, I know. Here is Scaramucci at the end of the interview saying goodbye. He shakes hands with Don Lemon. I wonder if because he shook hands, right hand, I wonder if Don Lemon used his left hand to put down his pants and play with himself and then put the fingers in the nose of this guy in the bar, or was it his left hand? I would imagine he did. If he's right-handed, Don Lemon, is he right-handed? If Don Lemon's right-handed, he would have played with himself with his right hand and put the fingers of his right hand in this guy's nose, I would imagine. So Scaramucci was possibly shaking the very hand that Don Lemon is being accused of using to play with himself in this bar with. I don't know. But this is Scaramucci with Don Lemon at the end of the interview.
And I'm gonna help him get defeated.
Thank you.
Here we are, man. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Nice to be here.
I'm going to help him get defeated, and Don Lemon says thank you. What is that about? Do they have something on Scaramucci? I do have a theory. I know. I'm sorry about the adult nature of the discussion, but these are the Democrats we're talking about. I can't help what's going on with the Democrats. What is the name? I forgot. Kim Guilfoyle. Okay. I just remember her name. Is it possible? I was talking about this on my podcast last week when Scaramucci first started trashing Trump. Scaramucci was with Kim Guilfoyle for a while. Remember, he stepped out on his wife and kids and was hooking up with Kim Guilfoyle. This is when she was still on the 5. In fact, he flew to Italy and went to some concert with her in Italy. Then he left Kim Guilfoyle, and now he went back to his wife, so he did the right thing there. Kim Guilfoyle has been with Don Jr. for a while. Apparently, Kim Guilfoyle likes married men. Kim Guilfoyle is with Don Jr. So, is it possible at all that this has anything to do with a love triangle with Kim Guilfoyle, Scaramucci, and Don Jr.? I know that sounds nuts, but he was having an extramarital affair with Kim Guilfoyle. Now Kim Guilfoyle is with Don Jr., and she's out there all the time, and she has access. I see her at all the events. Do you think that Kim Guilfoyle has anything to do with Scaramucci's hatred of our president? There's something going on here. I don't know what it is.
And I'm gonna help him get defeated.
Thank you.
Here we are, man. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Nice to be here.
He's loving it. Don Lemon's loving it. So I don't know. What do you think's going on? Something doesn't make sense here. I don't think he's been bought. He's already rich. He's a very wealthy man. But then again, with these guys, there's never enough money. There's either something personal or they got something on him. I don't know what it is. Do you guys have any theories? Why is the mooch doing this to our president? I used to like this guy. I even watched him on Celebrity Big Brother. This incident with Don Lemon was last year. It was last summer. I think it was July of last year. And the alleged victim has filed a lawsuit against Don Lemon over this sexual incident. And a witness came forward this week in the media corroborating the victim's account of the Don Lemon story. But I don't know exactly what's going on here with Scarum. If any of you have any theories, I mean, the thing with, I had him on, I did have him on I had Scaramucci on my podcast. Maybe I'll rerun that show because I loved him. It was the biggest suck-up interview you've ever heard anyone do. You have never heard someone suck up to someone in an interview as much as I did to Scaramucci. And I don't care. You listen to it. I'm proud of it. Maybe I'll post it on my social media today. So you guys can hear it. And it was a great interview. We had a lot of fun. And he was very funny, you know. And I was talking to Scaramucci that he has a Trump quality, that as rich and successful as he is, people still relate to him that are working people, like they do with Trump, right? The billionaire next door. And I told him, I said, Scaramucci, I said, you have suits. One of your suits, I see you on TV, one of your suits cost more than my entire wardrobe. And he said, hey, Brian, he said, on my first interview on Wall Street, he says, I was 100% flammable. He was wearing polyester. So he's like, I used to be like you. Now I'm, it was a very good interview. It was the biggest suck-up interview you've ever heard anybody do. I don't care. I love him then. I don't love him now, but I loved him then. I'll post that on my Twitter and Facebook today, and you guys can hear me suck up to Scaramucci. I don't care. I'll tell you how it is. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. It's 7:32 in the morning. Any ideas on what's going on with Scaramucci? The Kim Guilfoyle love triangle, to me, seems highly likely. You guys ever been involved in a love triangle? I have, and it's not fun. It's not fun, especially when it's public. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be back after this.
Denture wearers, are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food? Is it
Steve Kane
painful
Show.
for you to eat? Does the constant denture
Hey.
movement affect your speech? Are you
Steve
always
Kane
worried
Show.
that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing?
Steve Kane Show. Hey, Mike. Let me see. Got that interview.
Dental implants. This is Steve Kane, and I want to introduce you to Brighton Dental Care, where the Kane family goes for all our dental needs. Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat the foods you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're offering implants, get this, for just $3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000. But at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the 2 implants plus your lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922-4633, 954-922-4633, and online at brightondentalcare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
People put off the medical care they need for a lot of reasons. My deductible is too high. I don't have insurance. My schedule is too hectic. I just can't afford it. The time for excuses is over. Thanks to Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. PSA, only $34. Full cholesterol lipid panel, $28. Complete thyroid panel, $49. Diabetic A1C test, only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed. All testing is always anonymous and confidential. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Most results in 24 to 48 hours. Make sure to ask about their allergy testing, which includes micronutrient and environmental allergens, and vitamin deficiency test, drug testing, you name it. Any Lab Test Now or Plantation probably test for it. Any Lab Test Now or Plantation is located at 8367 West Sunrise Boulevard in the Jacaranda Plaza on the corner of University Drive and Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. Give them a call, 954-916-1072, 954-916-1072. Online, labtestingplantation.com. Take control of your health with Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, 954-916-1072. Steve Kane invites you to Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust and Medicaid Planning Seminars. Tuesday, August 27th at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. The first workshop is at 10. That's the Medicaid Planning Seminar, where you will learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Being forced to spend down your assets. You will learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets, and much, much more. The Revocable Living Trust Workshop is at 2, where you will learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. Seating is limited, so please call Barry Siegel's office for a reservation. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 1-855-352-3782. The Courtyard by Marriott is on Glades Road, just west of I-95, on the north side of Glades Road. The Medicaid Planning Workshop is at 10. The Revocable Living Trust Seminar is at 2. Call Attorney Barry Siegel's office right now for your reservation to these free workshops. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. 1-855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Yeah, I just posted this suck-up interview that I did with Scaramucci on my Twitter and Facebook pages, so you guys can listen to that, and the one after that, too, with David Limbaugh, who got nasty with me. But you listen to me suck up to Scaramucci like you've never heard me suck up. It was like I was talking to William Shatner or Harrison Ford or Mark Hamill. I mean, it was that kind of suck up. I don't care. I'm not embarrassed. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. Good morning.
How you doing, Brian?
Hey.
Scaramucci's Harvard, he's Harvard Law School, but one thing, no matter, I learned because my brother he's a broker for 30 years, is one thing, no matter how much money they have, when you take away their pride and you beat him, John Jr. stole his girl.
Yeah.
His wife was in the hospital, 8 months pregnant. You can't live it down. You give him all the money in the world. The one thing he wanted was Kimberly. I mean, she's got to be hot. She was with Newsom. She was with
I think she's kind of weird looking. I know she used to be a Victoria's Secret model. I find her odd looking. She must be incredible in bed, is what you mean.
Right, exactly. Well, let me say one thing. Paul Ryan, now they've been saying this for 3 months, that he's moving his family from Wisconsin to Washington.
Yes.
Here he is. That Mitt Romney's been coming out like crazy against Trump with all these liberal policies attacking Trump.
Yes.
Warren Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney, I think they're going to run the third party for the side purpose, just try to get Trump defeated.
Yeah, good luck. I would think you may be right about that, but him moving his family to Washington, the real question is not why he's moving his family to Washington. Why has he been living in Washington without his family since he left Congress? Right? Has he been living in Washington without his family all this time still? You know, the congressmen are the scummiest guys. They go to Washington, the men, and they don't have their families with them. They're back home in the district. Come on, what do you think's going on in Washington with all of these men without their wives?
There's been a few pictures with Nikki Haley, with Mitt Romney, with Paul Ryan.
Yeah. Well, I do think Scaramucci. I think it's about a lot of things, but mostly it's about Kim Guilfoyle.
unbelievable.
All right, take care. All right, you're on the radio. Good morning.
I do agree with you partly about the Kim Guilfoyle thing with Scaramucci. By the way, this is Mike. You know, it's partially about that, but again, remember that there were questions about who. Remember, the deep state has gotten to different people, and including Supreme Court justice.
Mm-hmm.
Rumor has it that they somehow got to Justice Roberts when he made the ruling for the opinion on Obamacare.
Yeah.
So could it be that he's part that somehow the deep state's gotten to Scaramucci?
Well, I don't know, but I do know this. When you've got rich guys with lots of money, you know, there's all kinds of scummy stuff that goes on. Sometimes it's scummy things in business. Sometimes it's scuzzy things with women. You know, understand what I mean? Men are not meant to be, I mean, obviously if you're, you know, but men are not wired to be rich, powerful, and loyal to their wives. And we know that Scaramucci was stepping on his wife with Kim Guilfoyle because he was married then. And when people are involved in big, huge business deals like that, who knows? It seems very odd. It just seems very odd. I mean, I really enjoyed him at the White House. He did that press conference at the White House, and it was beautiful to watch. I mean, I really enjoyed it. But there's something going on, and to me, it seems more personal. And that's why I lean that the Kim Guilfoyle love triangle has a lot to do with it.
Right. And one other thing you mentioned is the Democrats running for president and their crowd sizes.
Yeah.
What all that is they're jealous of Trump. That's all that is.
Mm-hmm.
How would you mention that, these Bernie or Warren or whomever has this great big crowd size, other than the fact that you see that that the president had 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 plus that show up, not even including the people that may not get into the buildings where he's going at any given.
Well, Elizabeth Warren, listen, we don't know who was in that crowd other than, you know, but Elizabeth Warren is in with these union activists, and they bring people in plain clothes to events. Her crowd size, something is fishy about it. Something is off about it. It's not real. It's not organic. You know, a Trump rally, these are people that take off work, drive themselves there in their own cars. They're not paid their union wages. They're not bused there in some bus chartered by Acorn. These are people that go on their own in their own private vehicle at their own expense, and they don't get paid. They might lose pay for the day and maybe the next day to recover. You know, there's something fishy about the Elizabeth Warren crowd. Let's see if she can keep it going.
Oh, sure. And like you say, these are people, I know for a fact that not only did some people that I know drove the 4 hours to Houston, but when Trump had his campaign stop down where you are, you know, or his rally down where you were, or I know personally of some friends of mine that drove the 8 hours or so that it would take to get down there.
See, nothing the Democrats do. Like, for example, I went to a Trump rally, and I was inside, and I forgot something in my car, and I went out to my car, and since I have friends being in this business, I was allowed to enter and leave and still have my spot. You know what I mean? I guess I was privileged that day. But when I went out to my car, everybody had gone inside, and I couldn't believe what I saw outside. There was a group of black people, and they were holding up the protest signs, you know, the F Trump signs, and they were being instructed by a white 20-something guy in a business, not a suit, but a business shirt. And he was telling them how to act and what to say and where to go. They were staging the protest for after the rally because the TV crews would be there when people came out, and they were staging the rally. And, the signs were F Trump, BLM, and all those kinds of things. And I thought it was interesting they were being instructed, these black people, by some 20-something white kid. You know, everything the Democrats do is fake. Well, it's not surprising, but what I mean is everything the Democrats do is fake.
have set up.
Mm-hmm.
These people, these people that show up to protest whatever they're wanting to protest.
Yeah.
Kavanaugh or whatever. They're
Nothing's wrong with you.
Way,
Someone in the chat room said nothing's wrong with unions. Go to Detroit, a city that used to be prosperous and overloaded with people. It's now a ghost town because of the unions. The reason there are so many jobs in China is because of the unions. Give me a break. All right, hey, I'm going to take a break. Oh, after the break, Trump did something yesterday that was pure political genius. Do you know what I'm talking about, Mike? Oh, no, Mike hung up already. Sorry, Mike. You thought I was going to hang up on... No, he did something yesterday that was just pure political genius yet again from our president. I'll tell you what that is, and we'll talk about it when we get back, if I can say it, when we get back. I'm misspeaking. I'm like Joe Biden. At least I know what decade I'm in. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back after this.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared?
Steve Kane
Do you have
Show.
the hurricane coverage you need to protect
Jen.
your home in case a hurricane hits? Call Debbie at I Will Advisors and have her review your policy. Debbie will make sure you have the hurricane coverage you need in case a hurricane hits. Once the hurricane is here, it's too late. Call Debbie right now. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. She will review your policy at no charge. 954-753-8080.
You got to have something to talk about the call.
8080.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, mom and dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at The Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, The Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, The Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at The Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone. 561-523-4325.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on
Oh, boy. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. That's right, on the radio since 1977. It's time to check in with Janet Cimarelli with the Morning Health Report from Save-A-Lot Nutrition Center in Margate. Janet Cimarelli, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. So important, the information I have to share with our listeners today. I spoke with a woman who was in very serious situation from taking antacids. Now, who knew that you could so destroy your digestive system by taking something you're using to relieve the pain, the heat, the discomfort of indigestion, reflux? Well, the basis of her problem was she had so depleted her mineral status, particularly her iron levels, that she was having serious difficulty just getting through the day. So to all of your listeners out there who are taking antacid products and they are dealing with problems navigating energy, sleep, continuing indigestion, come on in and talk to Gail and Tom, Diego, Kyle, all of the very, very friendly faces at Save-A-Lot, and they will give you digestive enzymes and probiotics to reestablish good, healthy digestive function, and they can give you iron supplements that will bring your iron levels right back up. They can give you multi-mineral supplements that will balance all of the minerals you need for your cells to function. It is fixable. Don't think your antacids come without a price to.
That's for sure. That is for sure. Listen, give Save-A-Lot a call. Their number is 754-307-1655. 754-307-1655 if you can't make it in. Because I know a lot of you that you're here locally, you don't drive, or you can't drive that far. You know, that's okay. They can do everything by phone and mail you the products, even if you're local. And they certainly mail if you're not local too, out of town, out of state. 754-307-1655. But it's always best to stop in if you can. And they're located in Margate, just south of Sample Road, on the west side of 441 in the Penn Dutch Plaza. All right, Janet, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. All right, yeah, so President Trump did something that was absolute genius yesterday. Absolute genius. And it was about eliminating, just for a time, the payroll tax. And payroll tax, this is spectacular. Because the Democrats are going to oppose this. The payroll tax is not going to be suspended for 30 seconds by the Democrats in the House of Representatives. They're just not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And the reason they're not going to do it is because they love taxes, right? They love taxes. And, you know, the payroll tax, a lot of people will say on the left, oh, it's not a lot of money. Well, not if you're worth $250 million like Nancy Pelosi. But I got to tell you this. If you are a working person and that payroll tax puts $10 a week more in your pocket, that's a lot of money. Puts gas in your car. And the Democrats are so out of touch with reality. They don't understand that $10 or $20 a week is life-changing money for a huge part of this population. I've had less money than that in my pocket many times in my life, haven't you? Yeah. Yeah. And the Democrats, they won't have it. They won't have it. So the genius of Trump in this political move is he's proposed something that is just a common sense thing to do. It would help people beyond imagination, especially as we're approaching the Christmas season, which the liberals call the holiday period. And they're going to oppose it. They're going to oppose cutting the payroll tax, which would put money in the pocket of millions of hardworking Americans. And Donald Trump knows that the Democrats in the House of Representatives are going to oppose this as we're moving into the presidential election season. We are going to retake the House of Representatives. Nancy Pelosi will not be Speaker after the next election, most likely. And it's because of things like this, the squad, Tlaib and Omar here this last week. President Trump is like amazing. He's like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. I mean, he is just so far above. People say he's playing tridimensional chess. He's 5 steps ahead. They're not even in the same game that he's in. And suspending, even for a short time, the payroll tax would help people so much. They have no idea in the Democrat Party because that's how out of touch they are with reality. The Democrats, like Nancy Pelosi, they think $20 a week is a penny. But they're rich. Bernie Sanders, they're all multimillionaires. They don't get it. And I can't wait for Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats to come out and tell hardworking people that they are not going to cut their taxes. And, you know, and I know they say, well, tax cuts, it doesn't help the economy. The Democrats will tell you this. You know, we just had back to school. Everyone's back to school in Florida now. And we have this tax-free week. We've had this tax-free week. It might have even been 2 weeks. I don't know how long the tax-free is, but on school supplies and school clothing, here in Florida, we have a tax-free period every year leading up to school, opening up. And the stores do boatloads of business. And I don't have a kid in public school. My daughter's a college student, but I even take advantage of this because I go to Target and Walmart and I buy like pens and paper and notepads and all this stuff that I use at home, for my home office. I go and buy, no taxes, no sales tax. The sales tax is suspended with this back to school shopping. It's a huge boom for business. Yeah. And what better way to stop all the, recession. If we were approaching a recession, which we're not, what a better way to get people to spend money than give them a few extra bucks by suspending temporarily the payroll tax. And the Democrats are going to come out on television and tell hardworking people that make $10 or $12 an hour that another $100 or $80 a month, whatever it is, it's that they're not going to get it. And that's a genius move by the president. Yeah, you can buy computers with the tax-free sales tax period here, the sales tax suspension at the back to school, and you don't have to have kids. Anybody, you go in, you buy a computer, boom, shoes, school clothes, anything that's school supply related, glue, pencils, pens, paper, anything. No sales tax. No sales tax. And when the Democrat and it's huge business. I bought enough notepads. I went over to Target and Walmart. I bought enough notepads to last me 6 months. No sales tax, and they were selling for like 49 cents each. Yeah, that's state sales tax. And that shows you that lower taxes or no taxes help the economy. It's absolutely amazing. And I don't know if they do that in your states, but we have that in Florida. And I don't know, did Jeb Bush bring us that? Jeb Bush was a pretty good governor. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. And the payroll tax, that's a lot of money to people. It really is. I mean, how many times, honestly, I know I've had this happen. How many times have you gone to the gas station and put in $5 worth of gas? Because money was tight, right? I've done that in my life, and I've done it many times, and I'll probably do it again sometime. That's life of a working. I'm not a millionaire. When you have your payroll tax gone or suspended, that $10 or $20 a week buys pizza Friday night for the family dinner. And these Democrats, there's no way they're going to come out and say that's a good idea. And what we're going to find in this next election, both congressional races and the presidential race, Democrats are being woke. This woke movement is something the left started. They're woke. They're woken up to the evils of all this. The real woke movement that's going on are Democrats who are waking up to what the Democrat Party is all about. And, this last few days with Tlaib and Omar, I mean, what Trump did with the squad is genius. And even yesterday, listen to this. This is Trump yesterday. He's talking about you've got a Palestinian woman and a Somali woman who are actually having members of both houses of Congress talk about cutting funding to Israel because Tlaib and Omar were not permitted to go to Israel and undermine the country and meet with organizations that have backed terrorist organizations. Listen to this. This is Trump yesterday in the White House.
You read the things that they said about Israel, how bad. And if you look at their itinerary before they found out, you take a look at their itinerary, that was all going to be a propaganda tour against Israel. So I don't blame Israel for doing what they did. I have nothing to do with it, but I don't blame them for doing what they did. I think it would have been very difficult to let them in, including the four.
Hey, boy, what's going on?
All four, but these two that wanted to get in, Omar and Tlaib. And I think it would be a very bad thing for Israel, but Israel has to do what they want to do. But I would not cut off aid to Israel. And I can't even believe that we're having this conversation. 5 years ago, the concept, and we've been talking about this, even 3 years ago, of cutting off aid to Israel because of two people that hate Israel and hate Jewish people. I can't believe we're even having this conversation. Where has the Democratic Party gone? Where have they gone where they're defending these two people over the state of Israel?
Yeah, I mean, and this is all because of Trump. The Democrat Party, yeah, a lot of people are saying, well, when did the Democrat Party go so far to the left? When did they go so far into this world of anti-Semitism? They've always been this way. They have always hated Jews. They've always hated Israel. They've always been communists. This is not new. They were just in the closet. And what Donald Trump has done is brought them out of the closet. There's always been fringe lunatic slobs like Bernie Sanders running around with Democrats. What Donald Trump did with this squad is make them front and center and the voice of the Democrat Party. And again, you want to talk about foreign influence. This BDS movement, okay, that's going on over there against Israel is a Palestinian-backed organization. Tlaib and Omar are doing their bidding. So if you want to talk about foreign interference in our government, the Palestinians have major influence over the House of Representatives because their connection to Tlaib and Omar has Gillibrand, who's running for president, and other Democrats talking about cutting off funding to Israel. So we have a Palestinian organization that has supported terrorism with strong influence over two Muslim American members of the House of Representatives. And now the mainstream Democrat Party is talking about cutting off funding to Israel because of this Palestinian BDS group. That's foreign interference. And we don't need $40 million and some ex-FBI director to have a bunch of subpoenas and spend 2 years investigating to determine the foreign influence going on right now with the Democrats. All right, it's 8 a.m. This is the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Our number, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Third hour begins now.
1870 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
Denture wearers, are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food? Is it painful for you to eat? Does the constant denture movement affect your speech? Are you always worried that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots? You are not alone. These are common problems that can be solved simply with dental implants. This is Steve Kane, and I want to introduce you to Brighton Dental Care, where the Kane family goes for all our dental needs. Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat the foods you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're offering implants, get this, for just $3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000, but at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the 2 implants plus your lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922-4633, 954-922-4633, and online at brightondentalcare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
This is Roger Simon, reverse mortgage specialist at South Florida's Choice Mortgage Bank. I've found that reverse mortgages can be a very valuable financial vehicle for seniors. I truly change their lives for the better. In fact, I have a reverse mortgage myself, and it's certainly improved my life. Everyone's situation, of course, is different, but I've found over and over that a reverse mortgage can solve many of a senior's financial problems. It's a valuable tool to allow you to age in place. And if you're a senior like me, that's a primary goal. By aging in place, I mean that you're financially able to stay in the home you love for the rest of your life. So if you own your home, with or without a mortgage, if you want to know how a reverse mortgage can change your life by giving you the financial freedom you need, find out how by giving me a call anytime at 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. I look forward to hearing from you.
Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166254.
Plus tax tag title and includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 9/10/19. Get super savings on over 1,500 Toyotas during our 2020 Supra sales event at Toyota of Hollywood. Toyota of Hollywood has one of the largest selections of 2020 Supra launch editions in the country. Plus, we're selling 2019 Toyotas at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $18,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Get super savings during our 2020 Supra sales event at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Steve Kane invites you to Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust and Medicaid Planning Seminars. Tuesday, August 27th at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. The first workshop is at 10. That's the Medicaid Planning Seminar, where you will learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Being forced to spend down your assets. You will learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets, and much, much more. The Revocable Living Trust Workshop is at 2, where you will learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. Seating is limited, so please call Barry Siegel's office for a reservation. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 1-855-352-3782. The Courtyard by Marriott is on Glades Road, just west of I-95, on the north side of Glades Road. The Medicaid Planning Workshop is at 10. The Revocable Living Trust Seminar is at 2. Call Attorney Barry Siegel's office right now for your reservation to these free workshops. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. 1-855-352-3782.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve King Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll free, 1-888-GO-10.
All right, third and final hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve King Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I tell you, the liberals are on all kinds of trouble. Donald Trump has exposed them as haters of Israel, haters of Jews, anti-Semites. 3 CNN personalities in big trouble. Fredo back on the air after he threatened to throw a man down a flight of stairs. Don Lemon being accused of some type of sexual assault, putting his hand down his pants. This is the accusation that's in the courts in New York. Put his hands down his pants. The guy said he vigorously touched himself. Then he took his hands out of his pants, Don Lemon, according to the, this is the allegation in the courts, and put the fingers that he had down his pants up against the nose of a man in a bar and asked him, do you like P or do you like D? You can figure out those words are. April Ryan, her security guard, has been charged with assault and theft after assaulting a reporter that April Ryan asked her to be removed from an event. So, you know, this is, it's been a rough week. It's been a rough week for the Democrats. It really has. Now, most of this hasn't been in the news. All this incredible news doesn't make it to the news, at least not in the way that we're talking about it. Their front runner, oh boy, the front runner of the Democrat Party, Joe Biden, he thinks that Robert Kennedy and Martin Luther King were assassinated in the 1970s. Crazy.
Just like in my generation, when I got out of school, that when Bobby Kennedy and Dr. King had been assassinated in the 70s.
In the 70s. 1968, baby, but he thinks it was the 70s. Oh. Yeah, Kamala Harris Kamala Harris has dropped 12 points in the polls among Democrats after Tulsi Gabbard exposed that as a prosecutor, she withheld evidence that would have exonerated people on death row. I know. And then Elizabeth Warren, this is MSNBC, talked to an Indian about Pocahontas.
What some people here said to me. Is Elizabeth Warren going to be a woman of color now? She says she's not. How can she say she's not when she just took a DNA test stating she is?
Yeah. So here's an Indian. Here's a real Indian, not a fake Indian, like Elizabeth Warren, who says, well, wait a minute, she said she was an Indian. Is she one of us or not? And Elizabeth Warren's campaign has scrubbed her website of any reference to this DNA test. And now, Kamala Harris is done, Joe Biden is done. So now the Democrats are putting everything behind Pocahontas here. And they manufactured some fake crowd. This is what they do in entertainment. This is what they do. Everything's a television production. It's about Tom. Guys, remember Tom Jones? What's Tom Jones famous for? I'm not going to say the name of his song. I can say it on the radio, but I'm not. What is Tom Jones famous for? I know a lot of younger people know who he is. Tom Jones, when he would sing, the story was women would throw their panties on the stage. And when he was on stage, because he's performing and he's dancing, right? And it's hot on stage with the lights, he was sweating. And he would take women's panties. Women would throw their panties on the stage, and he would pick up the panties off the floor and wipe the sweat off his face while he was singing. Right, Tom Jones? Women were not throwing their panties up on the stage. People that worked for Tom Jones, like his manager and stagehands, had boxes of panties, and they were throwing them up on the stage. That's the Elizabeth Warren crowd yesterday. Yeah. That's the Elizabeth Warren crowd yesterday. A fake crowd. A fake crowd. But let her get the nomination, because now their new front runner is Elizabeth Warren. They're trying to promote Elizabeth Warren now. She was committing fraud her entire adult life about being an Indian. And there's no question about it that she used the status of being a minority to elevate herself. They've got her bar card from Texas, where she registered as a Native American Indian, and she was doing it at the university. I always forget, was it Harvard or Yale that she was listed as an Indian for? And, a lot of people go around claiming to be Indians that are not. I've known people my whole life that do this. And Steve had a friend, we were out to dinner one night, this was and he used to tell, he must have told me 20 times that he was 1/16th Indian, and we were out to dinner one night, and I don't know, we were drinking, and he was telling us again, he was telling, I'm 1/16th. He's a good guy, but he used to tell this story when he was drinking. I'm 1/16th Indian. And I said to him, you mean like Gandhi? Indian, like Gandhi? And he's like, no, Cherokee, and F you. How many guys have you known that go around claiming to be part Indian? I've been hearing guys tell stories like that my whole life. People do that. And it's okay to tell these drunken stories, but it's not okay to sign documents at a public university claiming you're an Indian. It's not the same thing as telling a couple guys having some drinks over dinner you're an Indian. It's much different filling out your information with the Bar Association of Texas claiming to be an Indian. There's points when there's a change from when it just becomes a bragging phony baloney story and it becomes fraud. So their new front runner has been committing fraud her entire life, Elizabeth Warren. Oh boy, great. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Tom Jones, what's new, pussycat? Whoa, Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Moonraker, what's new, pussycat?
What about, do you have For Your Eyes Only too? Since you're doing the James Bond, why don't you move on? Do you got For Your Eyes Only, Sheena Easton? Can you do that one? For Your Eyes Only? Only for You? I'm not going to sing. No, he gave up. He doesn't know anymore. By the way, Moonraker, that wasn't Tom Jones, by the way, Moonraker. That was a female singer in Moonraker. I don't remember who. Yes. You can say that on the radio. I just choose not to. Okay? Because I don't want that as a soundbite. Yeah, Tom Jones. Look up Tom. I'm going to take a break. During the break, look up Tom Jones singing on YouTube, and you'll see him wiping sweat off his face as he sings with panties, women's panties. It's pretty funny stuff. Do you think Tom Jones would get away with that today? Oh, he's sexist. He's sexist. You can't do that. You can't do that. All right, we'll take our break. 15 minutes after 8. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 1-888-465-2631. Oh, man. All right, let's take our break. Much more to talk about. Don't go anywhere.
This is Roger Simon, reverse mortgage specialist at South Florida's Choice Mortgage Bank. I've found that reverse mortgages can be a very valuable financial vehicle for seniors. I truly changed their lives for the better. In fact, I have a reverse mortgage myself, and it's certainly improved my life. Everyone's situation, of course, is different, but I've found over and over that a reverse mortgage can solve many of a senior's financial problems. It's a valuable tool to allow you to age in place. And if you're a senior like me, that's a primary goal. By aging in place, I mean that you're financially able
Well, it is. Yeah, well, I hope it's entertaining.
For the rest of your life. So if you own your
Hey,
home,
Tennessee.
with or without a mortgage, if you want to know how a reverse mortgage can change your life by giving you the financial
Steve Kane Show.
freedom you need, find out how by giving me a call.
Hey, Jim, hold on.
anytime At 561-441-2730.
Steve Kane Show. What's your name?
That's 561-441-2730.
Hold on.
I look forward to hearing from you.
Leads into subject to change deal without notice. Equal housing lender NMLS 166254.
This is Steve Kane. For years, I searched for the right pillow, and I could never find one that was truly comfortable. All that has changed now that I'm sleeping with My Pillow. Mike Lindell, the inventor of My Pillow, loves Donald Trump, and he loves a good night's sleep. He invented My Pillow, and there's a reason.
Oh, man.
Very simply, it works. It keeps your head perfectly aligned with your body, so you don't wake up in the morning with headaches and neck pain. You get a perfect night's sleep. Order My Pillow using the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and save over 50% off the special 4-pack. That includes 2 premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows, plus free shipping. But to get this deal, you must use the promo code KANE, KANE. Order at mypillow.com or call 1-800-toll-free 716-4879. Use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, or call 1-800-716-4879. Use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Hi, this is Dr. Mitchell Matez from the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. I've cared for Stephen Bryan in an anti-aging capacity for the last decade. However, I want to make sure that everybody understands hormone therapy is not just for men, but it's for women also. In fact, we have one of my women patients here with us right now today. Hi, Donna. Hi, Doc. Donna, tell us, what are some of the symptoms you had when you first came to see me?
Oh, I was going through menopause and I had night sweats. I wasn't sleeping through the night, hot flashes, mood swings. My skin felt like sandpaper. I had my hair falling out by the handfuls and I was tired, run down all the time. I was moody, and the worst thing of all was my sex drive.
And how do you feel today?
I feel amazing. I'm 52. and I feel like I'm 25 again.
And I can tell you've also lost some weight since we first met. How has this affected your weight control and your sex life and other issues of that?
Well, I've lost 50 pounds, and my sex life is better than it's
Well,
ever
thank you.
been.
I'm glad you love the
It's
show.
amazing, and I have skin like I'm 25 again. I sleep like a baby. My hair is not falling out anymore. I'm happy all the time. There's no more mood swings, and I just feel like a kid again.
As you can see, hormone pellet therapy is great for women also. It reverses your menopause, controls your weight, improves your sex life, and a whole host of other benefits. If you want to get these benefits, call me as soon as you can at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management at 561-953.
Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube. Brian Craig on YouTube. Subscribe.
561-953-5490 or visit us at our website, hormonetherapybocaraton.com.
Listen to the Steve Keenan Show on iTunes.
All right. Yes. So I keep hearing this question. When did the Democrats start hating Israel? The question is the answer to the question is a simple one. They've always hated Israel. They hated the Jews before there was an Israel. Okay? The liberals have always been an anti-Semitic party. That's the way it is. This is not new. Trump has just brought them out of the closet. And he did this by taking these lunatic anti-Semites and their party and communist, the squad, and making them the focus. This is not, they didn't become this. They have always been this. See, that's the big secret. All right. Let's go to New Jersey. You're on the radio.
Yeah, hi. This is Jim from New Jersey.
Yes.
Scaramucci Turncoat. I read an article in the mail, on the Daily Mail, not so long ago.
Oh, yeah, great. I don't go on the air without reading the Daily Mail every day.
Yeah, well, what happened is that Scaramucci's wife is part of the social clique that is totally anti-Trump. And she was very unhappy about her husband being so pro-Trump. Well, he was caught gallivanting, doing some hanky-panky.
Yeah. Kimberly Guilfoyle.
And he said, look, I'll do anything.
Okay, so this let me say, okay, so this is interesting. You got some good information here. Scaramucci's wife hates Trump. Okay? Scaramucci was cheating on his wife with Kim Guilfoyle. She took him back. She's still pissed at him. So she's making Scaramucci do this, is what the Daily Mail is saying?
Yes, that was the condition of his being accepted by her, and he was not divorcing her. He did.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's blackmailing Scaramucci. Well, that's a good theory. I like that. That still, I still think Kim you don't think every time I watch a Trump rally, I see Kim Guilfoyle there with the president and with Don Jr. And you don't think that Scaramucci gets angry when he sees his girlfriend with Don Jr.?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know what upsets a man more than anything about an ex? What do you think? You've been around longer than me. I'm sure you know. What upsets a man the most about their ex?
Well, being seen with another.
Not being seen with another person. The thought of being intimate with another person. The thought of their ex, the woman, being with another man in an intimate way. That is what and there's Kim Gil. It's all about Kim Guilfoyle. You're right. I agree with what you're saying. Makes a lot of sense. But he also has got to hate to see his ex-girlfriend Kim Guilfoyle with Don Jr. But I'll tell you, Don Jr. I think Don Jr. is still married. I think Don Jr. He's been with Kim Guilfoyle a while now, and I suspect that he's staying married, Don Jr., because I think Kim Guilfoyle at this point in her life only likes married men. If he gets divorced, she might break up with him. She's a homewrecker, Kim Guilfoyle. I don't have a lot of respect for Kim Guilfoyle. Her last two relationships are with married men. Would you? She was married to Gavin Newsom, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was also married to Ed Asner's son. Yeah, so she, I don't think she's that good looking. And she looks like she wears wigs. She looks a little bit like, to me, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
That's a good point.
You think so too? Yeah. See, all right, appreciate it. Jim in New Jersey. Yeah. Now, she's not a gold digger. She's just like there. I guess there is a certain type of woman that like married men, and I would imagine the type of woman that likes married men is a woman who doesn't want commitment. What type of woman would openly be with a married man? Think about that. I don't know. What do you guys think out there? You ladies out there. Are there any homewreckers in our audience? Because she is a homewrecker. There's no question about it. She's a homewrecker. She wrecked Scaramucci's home. I don't think she's responsible for Don Jr.'s marriage. Don Jr., remember he had that affair with that singer. I forgot her name from the she was in one of these female groups, the female equivalent of the boy bands. And then she was on the Celebrity Apprentice. And he started having an affair with her when she was on the Celebrity Apprentice. Does anybody remember her name? So Don Jr.'s had a couple of things going on. But no, the thing with Scaramucci, I think it's more about Kim Guilfoyle than anything else. I really do. I mean, you know, if you watch any Trump rally, and you know Scaramucci watches, Kim Guilfoyle is always there off to the side, and she's got her arm around Don Jr. And I love Don Jr. Don Jr. is planning on running for something, governor or senator somewhere. I don't know where, but he's planning on being governor or a senator. You can tell by the way he talks. If you watch the Trump rallies online, and Don Jr. speaks before President Trump at every rally, and you never see it on television. But if you watch on YouTube, on Right Side Broadcasting, they run Don Jr.'s speeches before Trump's. They're better than Trump's. And that's saying a lot. And he's good. He is damn good. And he talks about, just like his dad, well, you know, he talks about what is in the news that day. He had a very funny joke about, what was it? Does anybody remember this joke? Because I did talk about this on the air. He was speaking before Trump. It was at a rally about a month or two ago. Oh, yeah. He said MAGA stands for, but this is in every rally, he said. He says MAGA stands for Michael Avenatti got arrested. You know, and he told this whole joke about it. He's very funny. He's very good. If you follow Don Jr. on Instagram or Twitter, he's got the best Instagram and Twitter. He comments in real time on everything that's going on. His speeches are spectacular. And his speeches, not only does he talk about the issues that are in the news today, you can tell he's running for president. And he is better than his father. And his speeches are not written. It's free association like his dad, but he's better at, it's hard to say, someone's better than Donald Trump. Well, his name's Donald Trump too. You know, literally Donald Trump too, because he's the second, Junior. And the next time President Trump has a rally, watch it on YouTube. Go to Right Side Broadcasting. They start covering the rallies hours before the event. And Don Jr. either comes out right before his dad or right before Pence or something, and his speeches are incredible. That's why they don't show them on television, because they know he plans on running for senator or governor, and he very likely will be president one day. I'm telling you, if you watch his speeches, you can tell. All right, we'll take our break. Steve's joining us. Oh, my goodness, look at the time, 8:27. We'll take our break here and be right back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for
You just made it.
tires. Go easy on your budget.
You just
and
made
buy
it.
Your tires at Friendly Tire of Market, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely
October.
can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car.
Well, if I can.
$135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954
Thursday is when I go. Thursday.
45 954.
He told me to come by Thursday. We'll do it Thursday.
45 online.
It's a good good time to
Retire.net.
do it.
This is Roger Simon, reverse mortgage specialist at South Florida's Choice Mortgage Bank. I've found that reverse mortgages can be a very valuable financial vehicle for seniors. I truly change their lives for the better. In fact, I have a reverse mortgage myself, and it's certainly improved my life. Everyone's situation, of course, is different, but I've found over and over that a reverse mortgage can solve many of a senior's financial problems. It's a valuable tool to allow you to...
Oh, the streams are on, so you gotta be careful.
That's a primary goal. By aging in place, I mean that you're financially able to stay in the home you love for the rest of your life. So if you own your home, with or without a mortgage,
4:30 is when I call you.
reverse mortgage can change your life by giving you the financial freedom you need. Find out how by giving me a call anytime at 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. I look forward to hearing from you.
Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender NMLS 166254.
For the best wings in this town, it's Wings Plus. Wings that are first grilled and then fried to make them extra crispy, served with blue cheese and celery. Try the Jamaican jerk.
Yeah, I played them all.
The lemon pepper wings, the honey mustard wings, the garlic wings,
No.
and 15 other varieties. That's Wings Plus, located at 9880 Sample Road in Coral Springs with a politically elite meat.
Steve Kane invites you to Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust and Medicaid Planning Seminars. Tuesday, August 27th at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. The first workshop is at 10. That's the Medicaid Planning Seminar, where you will learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Being forced to spend down your assets. You will learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets, and much, much more. The Revocable Living Trust Workshop is at 2, where you will learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. Seating is limited, so please call Barry Siegel's office for a reservation. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 1-855-352-3782. The Courtyard by Marriott is on Glades Road, just
I
west
think,
of I-95 on the north side
you should
of
take,
Glades Road. The Medicaid Planning Workshop is at 10. The Revocable Living Trust Seminar is at
Rich.
2. Call Attorney Barry Siegel's office right now. for
Because
your
it's a
reservation
done deal,
for these
so we can see it.
workshops.
What you do.
1-855-FLA
Hold on.
Estate. 1-855-352-3782.
Thing with Lamaski.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, we're coming back. We gotta do the shows, you know. Show here.
All right, we are back.
Yeah. Well, you're here. I'm back. You're here. You're just doing this. Oh boy, I tell you, rough traffic day.
It is very rough. That's, I haven't been able to make my allowance for it. It does slow things way down.
Yeah.
The school buses are back.
Well, school's back.
All the school zones. All, you know.
Well, when I come in, there's no school zones or nothing because it's so early. There's some school buses out, but they're not loading kids yet. That's the way it is, you know. On the way home, though, the middle schools don't start till almost 9 o'clock in the morning.
Not the way it used to be with us.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm trying to remember what time we would go to school early.
Yeah, I know. When I went to school, it was usually dark. Yeah, but yeah. Well, I kind of like it when the kids are out of school. Yeah, because
it's much easier driving. So, what do you think? What's going on?
I don't know. I did a couple things. Donald Trump's just amazing this week. I mean, everything he's doing.
You're right. I mean, he's just so far ahead of his competition that every time they turn around, I love the Greenland thing, by the way. It was cute.
The what?
He was going to buy Greenland.
Oh, Greenland? Oh, now he won't meet with he was going to meet with the Prime Minister of Denmark, and now he's called off the meeting because he won't talk about Greenland. What do you think? I don't understand what that's about. Buying Greenland.
It's a power thing. I mean, the idea of talking about it, I don't know if he's serious about doing it.
I don't think he's serious because he tweeted a very funny picture of Greenland. Basically, is a wasteland. It looks like Pluto. I mean, there's nothing there. And he tweeted this picture of a beach area in Greenland, and there was some rundown houses sitting on rocks, and superimposed on it was it looked like Trump Tower from Vegas, and he's and Trump put that on his Twitter. So when I saw that the other day, I thought, he's not serious about buying Greenland.
You never know. It's another tool he uses in capturing the narrative when it is to his advantage. If there's something in the narrative going on in the news that doesn't work to his advantage, he's always got something in an arrow in his quiver to pull out to.
I don't know. I really don't know what that's about.
It's about control.
Control what? Who cares about Greenland? I don't understand what that was about at all.
How many presidents? Can you imagine Barack Obama getting the idea or getting up and even saying, "I'm going to look at buying a country"?
Well, it's not a country. It's owned by Denmark. It's a territory of Denmark. I didn't even know that until the Prime Minister of Denmark, I will not sell. I was like, I didn't know it was Denmark. I thought Greenland was a country too.
Denmark was that where Hans Christian
Andersen. Yeah, I guess, and they got Greenland. Yeah. So I get, I don't know what that's about, but I know what he's done with Talib and Omar this week is genius.
I'll tell you one thing. It is definitely was. I don't know if it still is. We have any world travelers out there. It was the center about 20 years ago of porn.
Greenland? I thought that was Amsterdam.
Denmark.
Oh, Denmark. Oh, Steve Kane show.
But I'm sure.
Oh.
Has nothing to do with
No, we have somebody on the line. They know about Greenland. So.
All right, what do you have for us?
Well, I was hearing on another video that there were some nuclear sites that they may be underground.
You mean missiles? You mean missiles?
No,
do they come with the country when you get?
I think they are missiles.
They were doing some black ops sites. The CIA had some secret operations that Trump is trying to close down. So.
Well, who has the sites?
The CIA.
The CIA. That's what I just. I'm just telling you what I.
There's only one CIA, Steve. Well, what are the black? What? Slow down a little bit. Slow down. You're saying a lot of stuff. The CIA. You heard that the CIA has black sites underground in Greenland, which I didn't know you could dig because it's so cold. What are these? Are these where they're holding terrorists? What are these black sites for?
They're just strategic sites because it's near, Russia. It's all.
Well, when you fly to Europe, because of the circumference of the Earth is small up there, you usually fly over Greenland, right? I mean, I would imagine, so I know there's strategic importance.
So I'm just saying, if you want to go, there was a video yesterday.
Yeah.
Pick it up X22. I can tweet it out to you.
Yeah, you can tweet it out.
The thing that makes curious to me is if it's on Greenland, why, and it's our sites, we already have them.
I don't know. The thing about Greenland was way out of left field. I don't understand it. I don't know. Because, the news, Donald Trump is doing so well with Omar and Talib this week to try to manipulate the news cycle away from that. This is the gift that keeps giving, these two. They're going to go to Israel to meet with terrorist-supporting Palestinian organizations. That's wonderful.
Is that the next?
That's what they were planning on doing. Now, that was from the beginning, BDS. They were going to meet with... There's been no development. There's been no development other than they won't stop talking about how much they hate Israel and the Jews. I mean, this is wonderful. And of course, the Democrats are I don't know why the Democrats let these two push them around.
Of course, they're in conflict between two of their special interest groups. The Democrats are also trying to, first of all, anything that's opposed to Trump, the Democrats are in favor of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, he is making friends with the burgeoning Muslim culture that little by little appears to be creeping all over the world.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've noticed here in Florida more and more people wearing the Muslim clothing around than I used to see. So what I'm wondering...
Imagine if you lived in Detroit or Minnesota.
That's all you would see.
Yeah.
But what I'm wondering is, well, this is what I don't know, because there are a lot more Muslim people that are wearing the Muslim clothing now than ever before. was under Obama, was there mass immigration from the Middle East into the country, and that's why we're seeing it? Or are they more comfortable wearing the clothing? Are they like more, you know what I mean? Were these people that were already here that now are wearing the clothing that weren't before?
As more and more of them come, it becomes more, people get more and more comfortable wearing the costume.
The costume. Yeah, the costume.
Oh, that's what it is when you think about it.
Is a yarmulke a costume? I think the yarmulke and the thing with the women, the Muslim women, is similar. The cover up there. I asked these after 9/11. We had a bunch of Muslims on the show. You know, remember all that? And we had this group of Muslims on, and they brought a couple of the Muslim girls with them, and they were wearing the Muslim clothing. And I asked them, why do you wear the Muslim why do you wear this clothing? What's this significance of it? And they said it's to cover our bodies so men don't lust after us. It's about respecting women so men don't lust after us. And that makes sense. You know?
I don't know.
I think that
get the feeling that what's her name?
Talib and Omar. Omar's the black girl. She's the black one.
Omar's the pretty one.
Yeah, she's pretty, yeah.
Very attractive, and I love that thing she does with the scarves and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Scarves.
Yeah. Well, she just left her husband, and her, you know, she's.
You mean her brother?
No, that was the previous husband.
The previous brother.
Well, I think that the Muslim clothing makes them look better because it covers up when you just see like the middle of the face. It covers up the imperfections of the face a lot, like double chins and stuff.
What the face itself looks like naturally. She has a beautiful face. She's just got to, give the devil her due.
Yeah, you got to see her hands though. She looks like she bites her nails. I think I've seen Omar. Sometimes she has like. Sometimes Omar likes to run around with a cup of coffee in her hand all the time. She always has a cup of coffee in her hand, and sometimes she has like fake nails on. But if you ever see her without the fake nails, it looks to me like she bites her nails, which is not attractive to me. But you always see it because she's always walking around with a coffee cup.
The accent. She's
You got to think for the Somali.
Sexy.
She's pretty. She's pretty. Talib, on the other hand, is not.
Oh my lord! Yeah, she does not look appetizing.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. We'll be getting worse than Joe Biden. We'll be back right after this.
Steve Kane invites you to Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust and Medicaid Planning Seminars. Tuesday, August 27th at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. The first workshop is at 10. That's the Medicaid Planning Seminar, where you will learn how planning...
One step, but I can't get anything going with you. I'm trying.
Out of life, being forced to spin down your assets.
I don't know what I've done. I don't know. I'll think of
Of
something.
your assets and much, much more. The Revocable Living Trust Workshop is at 2.
I don't know. I got to play the commercials now.
Creditors like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. Seating is limited, so please call Barry Siegel's office for a reservation. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 1-855-352-3782. The Courtyard by Marriott is on Glades Road, just west of I-95, on the north side of Glades Road. The Medicaid Planning Workshop is at 10. The Revocable Living
Steve
Trust
Kane Show.
Seminar is at 2. Call Attorney Barry Siegel's office right now for your reservation for these free workshops. 1-855-FLA-ESTATE.
Caller.
1-855-352-3782.
It's not time for the gold report. I broke early, so I got to call him in a couple
Right
minutes.
now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. Promising that they're going to be Mom and Dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help And if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here
I
to
just
tell
don't
you
believe they're
that
gonna
help
go
is
after
available.
any of the top
Call my
people.
good friend Sal at the
The
Edge
CIA,
Recovery,
the,
561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone.
Steve Kane Show.
561-523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, the Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone. 561-523-4325.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount
guys,
prices.
had to move it.
that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30.
I'll put them on.
Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him where you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the
No,
phone.
I just had other stuff going on today. I'll do another time.
9445 954 977 9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
I gotta call Youngerman in a minute. Oh boy, not yet. Yeah, we'll go to the phones first, but let's go. I lost. Are you from Michigan? I lost track of who's who.
Yeah, Ron from Michigan.
Hey,
Ron.
Hey, good morning, Brian. Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about the Tlaib and Omar kind of a thing. I think Trump is handling that right because he is really exposing a lot of what they stand for. And, well, nobody else has. But there's a couple reasons that I can think of for that. One is, the lack of assimilation. Because Tlaib grew up was born in Dearborn, which for decades has been, the largest Muslim stronghold in America, the largest stronghold city in America.
What?
I think based on your knowledge of the area and what's going on up there politically, do you think she's going to have a problem getting reelected?
No.
Of course not.
No, there are way too many Muslims.
Are they trying to find somebody to oppose her? And I said that they're targeting a lot of the new people.
Well, they are, but it's kind of like targeting Nancy Pelosi. It's so
I'm going to disagree with you on that. Okay, I think she is very likely will be retired from Congress by the Democrats. They'll replace her with another Muslim person because of the district, but she's big trouble for the Democrats. I mean, Nancy Pelosi's been a strong supporter over the years of Israel, and now she's even involved in this thing of defunding Israel. So I don't think Tlaib is a sure-in to keep her seat in Congress forever. They'll replace her with another Muslim because she's out of control and she's doing a lot of damage to
Get a
them.
more cooperative Muslim.
Yeah.
That's finding a kinder, gentler, devil, if you will. Because the premise will be the same. And that's where the problem lies. It's not a matter of America.
Yeah.
In the Muslim faith.
Yeah,
you're right, absolutely right. Yeah, we have William Youngerman on the line, Steve.
William, how are you doing? William Youngerman, for those who don't know, which is nobody in our audience, I'm sure everybody knows who William is. He has been a sponsor of the Steve Kane Show for 16 years plus. He's been advising clients on trends and movements in the precious metals market. That is his specialty. He is world renowned for his expertise in precious metals, and we're so blessed to have him each day on the show to tell us how the metals markets are opening
We weren't
up.
talking about Omar.
William,
Talib.
what's it looking like?
The metals continue
We're
to
talking about
work in
Talib.
a consolidation phase, Steve, getting primed for possibly a good move to the upside from the way it's acting with higher lows and higher highs. So that's pretty much the way it's been acting, but consolidation has kept us in the trading range for gold between around $1,490 to about $1,525. Silver, we're just under $17 up to about $17.25. Yesterday we saw gold up $11.70, closing at $15.0680. Silver was up 30 cents, closing at $17.13 the ounce. Platinum was down $3 at $8.47, and palladium was up $14 at $14.73. Overnight, we saw gold get down a little bit under that $1,500 number and get as high as $15.08. But right now, gold's trading at $15.01. That's down $5.80. And as I said, we've seen this bounce off of this area several times. Silver at $17.06 right now, down 7 cents. The high overnight was $17.22 the ounce. Platinum up $2 right now at $8.49, and palladium also up $2 at $1,475. And that's pretty much where we are right now, Steve. You just have to keep buying these markets when they get down to the lower end of the trading range, like where they're at now.
Well, it is a great opportunity, and today is a good day to visit William Youngerman. William, tell
thank you
them
for
about
watching.
if they have any precious metals,
not
the kind of
Jewish.
things that you carry, other than just
You're
the
not Jewish.
traditional gold and silver. You also are a buyer.
Definitely, for over 50 years, we've made good two-way markets in all the precious metals, regardless of the form that's in, whether it's gold teeth that are laying around, or gold bracelets or watches, or broken jewelry, or silver candelabras.
Jews against Trump is not a Jew.
Anything that you're not wearing anymore or using anymore,
Got a fake picture of a rabbi. It's not him.
For easier form to track, and gold bars with gold
Thanks,
coins.
Nick. Appreciate it.
Silver
You too, Greg.
coins. We have it all in stock for immediate delivery, and if you're need an appraisal on something, bring it in. We'll be glad
Make sure
to
you
give
subscribe on
a
YouTube.
free appraisal. Just tell us that you heard us on Steve King.
Exactly right. If you live in South Florida, where the home office is for William Youngerman, just go down to 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca Raton. By the way, that's the Bank of America building. And William is directly across the hallway on the first floor, across from the bank itself. If you want to reach him by phone, 1-800-327-5010, or go to the website, WilliamYoungerman.com. William, a pleasure, and I may see you later this morning, all right?
Okay, thank you. Look forward to
You take care. And we are
Yeah, I was talking yesterday with William Youngerman. This is like the best time I have ever seen to turn like your old jewelry and anything made of the metals into cash, because these values are crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Are you gonna take some calls? All right. I've lost track of the call. Is this conservative Doug?
Conservative Doug. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
The
Doug.
first thing, Trump Jr. has, from what I understand, has been divorced now. It's finally.
Is it final? Oh, Kim Guilfoyle may leave him. Scaramucci. Listen, what I was talking about was this thing with Scaramucci. Oh yeah, Doug. Do you think Scaramucci it has anything to do with Don Jr. being with his ex-girlfriend Kim Guilfoyle? I mean, he was really had the hots for Kim Guilfoyle. He walked out on his wife and kids, Scaramucci, for Kim Guilfoyle, and now he turns on a Trump rally, and there is his girlfriend with Don Jr.
Yeah, I never liked that Scaramucci character, and I definitely think he was. I understand he was having some mental issues when he was going through his divorce.
Well, he's just an opportunist.
Scaramucci is not divorced. He went back to his wife and kids. A caller called earlier, and there was a story in the Daily Mail, and the Daily Mail is one of the more credible news outlets there are. It's the most read English language newspaper in the world, the Daily Mail. And they are reporting, according to a caller, I didn't see this story myself, so this is secondhand from one of our callers in New Jersey, and he seems to be a credible guy. He said that Scaramucci's wife is a Trump-hating liberal, and that she's putting Scaramucci up to this as one of the conditions to take him back and let him be with her and his kids in the house. He's got to join this Trump hate train.
Sounds like a little far-fetched. Anything's possible, but it sounds far-fetched. Sounds far-fetched to me.
All right, Doug. Appreciate the call. You're on the radio.
I think what he's doing, he's just an opportunist.
I don't know.
He has no opportunities with Trump anymore.
He has millions of dollars. His suit costs more than our cars. I mean, this guy's wearing suits from London. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Steve from
Royal Palm.
a couple things. One, I had to go to school. I was a financial advisor with American Express several years ago, and their school was up in Minnesota, Minneapolis. The first thing I noticed when I got there at the airport, I thought I was in downtown Iraq. And I'm going back a number of years ago. The place is inundated. So as far as Ms. Omar getting reelected, hands down. The influence of Muslims in the United States, Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. For those of you that have gone back or live in New York, Bay Ridge, Brooklyn is now downtown Iraq. It is unbelievable. The number of mosques you see there, the Arabic writing on the stores, they have their own security patrol.
Well, anybody that has followed, is a world traveler and spent any time traveling to London, they have transformed London for the worse.
Yeah.
I mean, it is no longer, you don't really get the feeling you're in London.
My mother-in-law was in London last year, and she was staying with some family, and she went to the local grocery store down the street, and it was all like Islamic foods and things on sale. She couldn't believe what she was seeing.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you a question though, okay? Because people, like here in South Florida, we have Miami, and Miami is, been taken over by Cubans for many decades, and there's a huge Cuban influence. I see, Spanish language billboards. Here in Broward County, there's been a lot of Brazilians move in. I see billboards on the road in Portuguese. So so Steve in Royal Palm, what's the difference between the Portuguese billboard, the Spanish billboards, and what you're talking about in these other areas with Muslims?
Minneapolis, the cab drivers were allowed to refuse passengers that had animals or single women.
That's true. That's true at the New York airport.
Single women? That's a new one. Okay, now you're on. Okay, that's when you get into that. Like in Saudi Arabia, I've heard stories where paramedics have arrived and firefighters have arrived at homes and they couldn't enter the home because a man was not home. And so yeah, that's like Muslim tradition and laws. That's odd.
BT.
Gays, yeah.
How does the Democrat Party reconcile with Omar and the Muslims?
Well, Omar commented on this. Omar, I didn't read the whole story, okay, this morning. I just skimmed it. But what I picked up from Omar is she acknowledged this gay discrimination, but she says it's not the equivalent to what the Jews are doing to the Palestinians, was what I picked up from her response to it. But I didn't read the whole story.
Well, I don't know. In Israel, they have a large gay population, have gay parades, all that. You go to a Muslim country, they kill you, they throw you off of buildings, they hang you, they torture you. I don't know how she can reconcile that with a straight face. And anybody who belongs to that...
She's an agent. She's an agent provocateur.
Well, they're not...
She's a professional activist and troublemaker.
Omar and Tlaib are just not... they don't view the world like anyone from Western civilization. They're from another civilization. They're from another culture. And they don't see what we see. They don't see what you and I see, or and Americans see, or anyone from Western, whether Canadians, Brits, Australians, anyone that's from Western civilization. We have a similar worldview, no matter what our nationality is, and they're not Western. They're, I guess, Middle Eastern. They're Eastern. It's another civilization. Yeah. Oh, we're all out of time. Hey, Steve, appreciate the call. We're out of time.
All right. right, that does it for today. We thank you for joining us. We will be back tomorrow. Ed from Catalina's one.
No, day after Friday. Tomorrow's Thursday.
Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Friday. We are going to be back 6 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow. Until then, Steve and Brian, God bless America.
All right, guys. See you later. All right. See you guys later. All right. Make sure you all subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. All right. See you later.